When you've got to spend some time away, there's no better place for your best friend to stay than Woodland West Pet Resort. With 17,000 square feet of fun, you can both take a no-guilt vacation. Relax, both of you. Pick up a new skill. Chow down on some well-deserved vacation food. Make new friends. Have a spa day. And finally, come home to your best friend. Woodland West Pet Resort. Sit, stay, and play. Located next to Woodland West Animal Hospital off Highway 75 in the Jenks exit.
Pain slows you down. Even the simplest movements can feel out of reach. But you don't have to go through it alone. At Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma, we provide the results you want and the care you deserve. From diagnosis to recovery, our specialists offer advanced treatment and personalized care so you can heal and get back to what moves you. Because life keeps moving, and we'll keep you moving with it every step of the way. Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma. Heal, recover, advance.
At Our Best Bank, we believe financial confidence should be within reach for everyone. That's why we're here and achieve your goals at every step. Because everyone deserves a financial partner who cares. Our Best Bank, we believe.
Hi, this is Matt McCoy, former Jenks Trojan. I'm a proud Trojan sponsor this fall. I'm excited for Coach Gaylor and the team. I'd love to help you with your insurance. Please give me a call for a free quote or come by my office at 81st and 129th.
Come with us to the new Meteora location on 61st and Yale. If you haven't been to Meteora before, you are missing out. From the large portions to the great prices, this is really one of the best places to eat in Tulsa. Not to mention the incredible service you receive from each team member. So get to Meteora on 61st and Yale. Come with us to the new Meteora location on 61st and Yale. If you haven't been to Meteora before, you are missing out. From the large portions to the great prices, this is really one of the best places to eat in Tulsa. Not to mention the incredible service you receive from each team member. So get to Meteora on 61st and Yale as soon as you can, and don't forget to try the churros.
It's more than a job.
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 It's more than a job. It's a calling.
Hey Trojans! Get the only card that donates to Jenks Public Schools every time you use it. TTCU Federal Credit Union has donated more than $160,000 so far. Support the Trojans with your card today.
Make every occasion unforgettable with Waldo's Chicken and Beer. From corporate lunches to special events, enjoy our irresistible dishes, including breakfast. Waldo's full-service catering has you covered. We'll handle the food so you can focus on what matters. Waldo's Chicken and Beer, catering made easy.
Good evening and welcome to Santa Fe Stadium here at Edmond Santa Fe High School as we get set to kick off the 2025 season with this 6A1 matchup tonight between your Jenks Trojans and the Santa Fe Wolves. So glad to have you alongside with us wherever you're tuning in from tonight. I'm Rob Labor alongside Coach Eric Fox. So glad to have you with us as we stream worldwide on Trojan TV. And we get our first look into a new season. And Coach Fox, it's a new era of Jenks football. I think we need to mention right off the top, I want people to not panic because they don't hear the voice of the legend, Don King. I promise Don is alive and well. He's just not available tonight. You're going to have to deal with the two of us. But I want to ask you about the new era of Trojan football. Adam Gaylor takes over as head coach. Obviously, he is no stranger to this team and this program in all his years as defensive coordinator, but now elevated to the position of the top man. Why do you feel like he has this job, and why is he the right man to lead the Trojans forward?
Well, Rob, it's great to be beside you and getting ready to kick off this new season, and I'm really glad you led with the most important part here. Don King is not with us tonight, but he will be back, the heart and soul of Jenks Trojan football broadcasting at a family wedding in Michigan, so we know he's listening in tonight. But Coach Gaylor has been defensive coordinator. He's a guy that Coach Riggs went after and sought after and got him here at Jenks. And then when athletic director Clay Martin was looking for the next guy, when Coach Riggs announced his retirement, boom, he was ready to go. And we'll talk about a little bit longer why that is the case after this break.
Yeah, and on the other side of the break, we're going to talk a little bit more about the makeup of this Trojan roster, who they've got coming back, some of the new faces and new players, new names that you're going to hear this season, and guys who will look for to make an impact. You see the great graphics package that they have here on Trojan TV this season. You're going to get used to that all season long with the great Trojan TV crew and what they're going to bring you from a production standpoint. It'll be unlike anything you've seen at the high school football level, and we are thrilled to be bringing it to you tonight as we start the 2025 season here with the Trojans and the Edmond Santa Fe Wolves. We'll be back with more right after this. You are watching Jenks Trojan football on Trojan TV.
When you've got to spend some time away, there's no better place for your best friend to stay than Woodland West Pet Resort. With 17,000 square feet of fun, you can both take a no-guilt vacation, relax, both of you, pick up a new skill, chow down on some well-deserved vacation food, make new friends, have a spa day, and finally, come home to your best friend. Woodland West Pet Resort. Sit, stay, and play. Located next to Woodland West Animal Hospital off Highway 75 in the Jenks exit.
Life doesn't wait for you to slow down. When you're moving fast and something doesn't feel right, Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma is here to help you stay in motion. Through our combined expertise in orthopedic surgery, non-surgical medicine, and comprehensive whole patient treatment, our team has your back and every other joint too. Ready to get back out there? Visit AOOK.com and let's move forward together. Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma. Heal, recover, advance.
At Our Best Bank, we believe financial confidence should be within reach for everyone. That's why we're here to help you plan and achieve your goals at every step. Because everyone deserves a financial partner who cares. Our Best Bank, we believe.
Hi, this is Matt McCoy, former Jenks Trojan. I'm a proud Trojan sponsor this fall. I'm excited for Coach Gaylor and the team. I'd love to help you with your insurance. Please give me a call for a free quote or come by my office at 81st and 129th.
Come with us to the new Meteora location on 61st and Yale. If you haven't been to Meteora before, you are missing out. From the large portions to the great prices, this is really one of the best places to eat in Tulsa. Not to mention the incredible service you receive from each team member. So get to Meteora on 61st and Yale as soon as you can, and don't forget to try the churros.
It's more than a job.
It's more than a job.
It's more than a job. It's more than a job.
It's more than a job.
It's more than a job.
It's more than a job. It's a calling.
Hey Trojans! Get the only card that donates to Jenks Public Schools every time you use it. TTCU Federal Credit Union has donated more than $160,000 so far. Support the Trojans with your card today.
Make every occasion unforgettable with Waldo's Chicken and Beer. From corporate lunches to special events, enjoy our irresistible dishes, including breakfast. Waldo's full-service catering has you covered. We'll handle the food so you can focus on what matters. Waldo's Chicken and Beer, catering made easy.
And welcome back to Edmond, Oklahoma, as the Jenks Trojans get set to open the season for the fourth straight year against the Edmond Santa Fe Wolves. Rob Labor along with Eric Fox. And Eric, we talked in the first segment there just briefly about the new head coach, Adam Gaylor, this year. A lot of other new things, new names, new faces for this Jenks Trojans team. Starting on the offensive side of the ball, a new offensive coordinator in Tyler Chronister, a new starting quarterback in junior Landon Kazar. It's going to take some getting used to, probably for the fans, the players alike. One thing that they can rely on, that you know you can depend on, is number 2 out of the backfield, KD Jones, the best running back in the state of Oklahoma.
You think we're ready for some vitamin KD to start the season? Yeah. This coaching staff, you only have 3 returning starters, returning coaches on the offensive side of the ball, and then you've only got 4 returning coaches on the defensive side of the ball. And then Coach Gaylor, he will be calling the defense this year. Serving as defensive coordinator, so that won't change. But, this offensive unit has had 3 offensive coordinators in 3 years. So this marks the 3rd straight year of that. And that's going to take a little time getting used to. Offense sometimes develops a little bit more slowly throughout the season, and so we anticipate that. But, of course, KD, and we'll talk about KD a little bit later, but KD is going to be key to that success. Coach Chronister is going to play an up-tempo style. I know we talked about an up-tempo style last year. If we thought up-tempo might happen last year, get ready for warp speed this year. There's going to be a lot of offensive snaps, which is good because I won't have to talk as much in between plays, right? But Coach Gaylor has gone out and got guys that have been head coaches in other places. He's got guys that have been highly sought after and been highly successful to bring his staff together. Some of them haven't arrived until late. There's a lot of guys that weren't here for spring ball even. So it's going to take a little time for this coaching staff to gel and everything. So, but with all that being said, we know that the Trojan program has consistently gotten better from week 1 or week 0 through hopefully week 14. And would not anticipate that to be any different this season.
And really couldn't ask for a better night, better weather, very un-August-like here on August 29th. The fact that it's not 95 degrees with 90% humidity is just a huge blessing and a little bit of a surprise if we're being honest. So right now, temperature around kickoff about 74, 75 degrees, cloudy skies, just ideal conditions to kick things off for this 2025 season. Let's turn our attention, Coach Fox, to this Edmond Santa Fe squad. Really bit of a roller coaster the last 3 years under their head coach, Kyle White, now entering his 10th season.
You cannot take anything for granted tonight. This would make their season, right off the bat to get a home victory over the Trojans. They have 3 photos in the elevator on the way up to the press box. I don't know if you noticed this. One against arch rival Edmond Memorial, one against arch rival Edmond North. The one right in the middle is 3 guys hammering KD Jones. And I don't know that was coincidental. So, that's something that's really important. They have a lot of pride here, and they want to play well tonight.
Yeah, they'll be up for this one, no doubt. Anytime Jenks travels, they've got a target on their back. No question about that. We are going to step aside momentarily. When we come back, we'll get more analysis from Coach Fox with his players to bank on, and we'll get into the keys of the game. We are just a few minutes away from kicking things off between the Jenks Trojans and the Edmond Santa Fe Wolves. I think what everybody needs to know is this, Coach Fox. It's the best time of the year, right? We're about to kick this thing off for another season. We had a high school game last night with Bixby and Owasso. The college games are kicking off. We got a big weekend of football ahead. We are excited to bring this one to you tonight on Trojan TV. We'll be back with much more right after this. You're watching Jenks Trojan football on Trojan TV.
When you've got to spend some time away, there's no better place for your best friend to stay than Woodland West Pet Resort. With 17,000 square feet of fun, you can both take a no-guilt vacation, relax, both of you, pick up a new skill, chow down on some well-deserved vacation food, make new friends, have a spa day, and finally, come home to your best friend. Woodland West Pet Resort. Sit, stay, and play. Located next to Woodland West Animal Hospital off Highway 75 in the Jenks exit.
Pain slows you down. Even the simplest movements can feel out of reach. But you don't have to go through it alone. At Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma, we provide the results you want and the care you deserve. From diagnosis to recovery, our specialists offer advanced treatment and personalized care so you can heal and get back to what moves you. Because life keeps moving, and we'll keep you moving with it every step of the way. Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma. Heal, recover, advance.
At Our Best Bank, we believe financial confidence should be within reach for everyone. That's why we're here to help you plan and achieve your goals at every step. Because everyone deserves a financial partner who cares. Our Best Bank, we believe.
Hi, this is Matt McCoy, former Jenks Trojans.
There's some offensive mistakes last week, working behind the chains. Lots of times they were behind the markers and having to go for long yardage. So not making those mistakes and having him have a big night will be key. But I'm going to also go to Pierce Brand on the defensive side. Again, we graduated a lot of seniors last year off this defensive unit, particularly linebacker, a lot of experience. So Pierce Brand is a guy that they're really looking forward to step into that next leadership position in that tradition of great Trojan linebackers. And I think he's going to have a big night tonight.
And as the Trojans get set to take the field coming out of the helmet, we're going to toss it over to the starting lineups. The Jenks starting lineups are presented by Batteries and Bulbs Plus and the U.S. Army. Here is a look now at the Trojan starters. And welcome to Trojan TV. Get set for kickoff between the Jenks Trojans and the Edmond Santa Fe Wolves. Edmond Santa Fe won the toss and will defer to the second half. So Trojans will receive and start on offense, and things will get a look. Coach Fox at Landon Kazar, the junior quarterback, in some cup duty last year. Did see some meaningful action in a few games last year. I have to imagine that was not a great experience for him, but all for this coach staff to know capability a little bit. He's bigger, stronger, and learn this new offense. Good at times in the Trojan preview with 3 touchdown passes. Also a couple picks preview against Bentonville. So it means something, no doubt, to be the star quarterback for the Jenks Trojans, and we'll see how Jenks offense comes out landing at the helm.
Yeah, I think you're going to see KD in different faces, different looks. He's going to be somebody everybody has on, including Santa Fe defense. But beyond that, Connor's looking for a fast start, some big shot, big explosive plays. His goal is to have about 10 explosive plays, which we're going to say 20 numbers. Coach in middle school, but also a standing player in his own right. Coach in the defense secondary, so he's coaching in the secondary for Coach Gaylor, but also the special teams coordinator.
Another exciting facet to this new season. Trojans now sponsored by Nike coming out. Those new uniforms, and these things are clean in the all whites with the maroon helmets, Faye and the gray helmets, the dark jerseys, and the white pants. And here's first snap. Kazar back in the shotgun. KD to his left, and it's pitch out left. KD takes it, has all cut up across 40 to the 45-yard line, and a couple more. It's a first down for Caden Jones. First carry goes for 13 yards. That'll move the gains. It's a first down for the Trojans brought by the district.
Back on the ball.
And AD again, same side, going to the left. This is not quite much room. Still a solid gain, first down as in Santa Fe territory. Knocked down there at 46-yard line. Well, there is they will right the 45-yard line. And again, no hesitation from because he swings this one and it's dropped. Look, he was going for Caleb Lillard out there. Caleb's that one's on me as it went right through. It's an over 3rd down and 4 for the Trojans.
Quick start, 2 power running plays to start the season off, and like the aggressive, I like this Cali right there. Obviously, run behind that offensive line. We'll talk about the offensive line, but coming out of summers, they spotted him on average more than any unit quite time here.
Kazar staying right on the middle stripe. 3rd and 4 for the Trojans as McInerney goes in motion. They will give Cade. Makes it, puts a foot ground. He's over 40-30 to the 25-yard line. Big chunk play for Caden Jones. It's their 1st down and 10. Brought to you by 10 Disc.
And that's that supposed to play Coach wants to see. Didn't get in zone. Big chunk like that. And they're going to set go.
Again to Cade. Run left. Not as much there. Gain of about 4. Down around the 20-yard line before being knocked down along the sideline. 5 plays for the Trojans so far. 4 of them in the hands of Caden Jones, a senior to back, committed to Oklahoma State.
Cade's going to take either here, Derek, or he's going to come to the ball game.
Man motion is Kip Dillard, and they bring it back to him. 10-5, it cruises into the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans.
Nice play right off play action. Coming to swing past the wide side field, went off jet motion. Great job. Then we got 2 huge blocks downfield. Braxton Daniel, a new guy at the tight end position, is one of the guys leading the way. And looks like we are setting up for possibility go 2 right here.
And the Trojans made that look easy. Martin right in the field. 6 play, 65 yards. Touchdown brought to you by Tulsa ER and Hostel. Got the split fortune now. And they would, in fact, go to as they swing it over the right side, and that's up. Santa Fe didn't pull any there as Trojans tried to go through. That's an Oda catch for Jenks, swallowed by a host of Santa Fe defenders. So 6 on board for the Trojans, and with 48 to go here in the 1st quarter, it's Jenks 6 and Santa Fe thing back for this. You're watching Jenks football on Tro TV. It's nothing Trojans. And that open drive, just a minute and 11 seconds off block. And it's an onside kick. Trojans some tricky here early on, and they got it. Went through the hands of one of Santa Fe players, and it picked up and recovered by Pitts Brand. How about that for start on special team, Coach?
Well,
they'll
dribble. Yeah, Coach Morse was talking about really sending a statement and making sure that the special team played a part of this game. So offense does a nice job of the drive, going and getting in the end zone, and I'm right back with outside kick. The best to do it, obviously, is when nobody's expecting it. So it's going to run out on the field.
Trojans started their stride, went 6 on their own 3-5, now starting from the Wolves' 4-5-yard line. Empty backfield look. Initial here, Landon Kazar, who is 1 of 2 for 19 yards, and that is touchdown pass of the season to Kip Dillard. Kazar to throw, takes a shot over, it's complete. Katie makes a move and gets popped from behind down at the 25-yard line, and we got a flag here on the sideline.
I think they're going to say we had an illegal formation. I think this will be coming back. One of the things Hawk did is make sure those receivers get set. So if somebody rocking, I'd miss a little bit, or they just had enough line on the ball. We'll have to see if they come up here, but run a little rub right there. Ineligible receiver downfield just means it was covered up. So in the empty backfield look, quite aligned correctly, is one coaching points that Connor Shade, not yourself foot mistake. So it's a comeback. That long yard behind the chains that they want to avoid from mistake last week.
Yeah, instead of first and at the Sandy 25, backed it up to midfield. First 15 for Kazar and company. Despite the penalty to take one back, did step in the pocket, made a really nice throw to Cade Jones delivery. He took a down low.
It's when they're taking a little more time to take the play in. They're not changing personal grouping, putting some stress on the defense by the same guys on the field.
About 2 minutes gone by here in this one. Safey has not touched the ball on off. This is the second drive for the Trojans. Try to convert here on a 3rd and 4 from the Safey 39. Because are looking left, fires, and it'll first down for the Trojans. Inside the 3-yard line, it's Kip Dillard again to the 27. That will move sticks. It's their first down brought to you by the 10 Direct.
How quick their back ball.
Again, quick pass. That one went right through Caleb Dillard and out of bounds, so incomplete. Seen a couple of those now that have been fired fat by Kazar over to Dillard. Those two have already established a connection so far this season. Coach Falk, you go back to review last week, 3 touchdown pass from Kazar to Dillard, and one ended up hitting the Trojans with 0.8 in that preview, and then went for 2 KD, and ended up in the W at Tro Preview in an exciting fashion. And we've got timeout here, taken by Santa Fe, I believe.
Yeah, so I think, Ford really was, he had that one back. So you see a couple things, formations. That time had three into the boundary, 3 receivers to the bound, so they're going to a quick swing pass out there, quick kind of a screen look there. And maybe you can up downfield where he's going to be looking for running lane according to the wide receiver blockers in front of him, just getting his eye off the ball, perhaps flicks it all the way in. But I really like the way they've kept Santa Fe defense off balance and just not in one form or fashion, right? You got a lot of Jones power runs, you got a lot of look at him, wide receiver. You got those quick screens to the outside. Again, using the same personnel groups. And now it looks like Braxton Mills is going to come off field, and they've got more of a power run look there. The next time in
out timeout, 2nd and 10. And it'll be 80 this way, go to his right, trying to find some blocking, not a whole lot there, as it's tripped up and will be marked down at the 26-yard line. We'll bring 3rd and long. So 3rd, 8 upping for the Trojans. Will be their longest 3rd down so far.
I just have to think this 4-down territory. Maybe going to shut down the field.
Formation to the 3 wide receivers, 4-star, 1 at the bottom. Kazard's backing left now over the middle, and it's by Dill. He climbs a lot, goes and gets, and he's marked down inside the 1-yard line. Caleb Billard, have yourself first order as he went up, got that all nice delivery from Lanzard to convert and 3rd down, and it's 1st and goal from the 1 for the Trojans. They're going fast again. They hand it off KD, and he bowls his way into the end zone. Down Trojans. Brought by Tulsa. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just position at defender. So Lazard does a great job hitting him. Dill has a nice ball's a little bit behind and up. He's able to secure his body, and we're back in this formation, looking at possible 2, but going to bring the kicker back in, take KE out, and looks like we're going to go for the extra point.
Mahan, the place kicker, the 5'8" junior, onto it to the extra point. It is good. So with 8:38 to play in the first quarter, the Trojans 13 and the Wolves thing. Back with right after this, you're watching Jenks football on Trojan TV. Jenks out to an early 13-0 lead as Griffin McCord this time will kick it deep. Taken at the 7-yard line and driven back. Great kickoff coverage downfield there by the Trojans. And that's Zion Castleberry coming down and making the hit. So we're going to get our first look after the Ace Hardware kickoff. We're going to get our first look at this Edmond Santa Fe offense led by junior quarterback Jordan Kennedy.
Yeah, and his guy that he's going to take some shots with is Malachi Davis, wide receiver out there, senior, number 14. So we'll look to see what happens here. Kennedy also is a threat running the ball.
They start in the pistol formation from their own 17-yard line. Kennedy with the keeper, and he's met and driven back. Nice form tackle there in the open field. I believe that's Clark Carricker who got him and stopped him right in his tracks.
Yeah, Coach Gaylor and this defensive staff have really been excited about the way Carricker has progressed this summer, but not surprised to see this quarterback running the ball. That's something that he's going to try to do a lot tonight.
2nd and 10 now. No gain on the play. Trojans able to punch it in on their first 2 possessions of the game, and Santa Fe looking to stop some early momentum here from the Trojans. Here's Kennedy going deep, got a man down the field. It is bobbled and dropped. He had a step on Ace Gilliam and could not reel it in. Off the hands, looked like he was fighting it a little bit, was Malachi Davis, and just could not hang on.
Yeah, that's a matchup you're going to see. I mean, Ace is our cover guy. He's going to be that lockdown corner. And they went, Davis got inside him, and that's one that he wishes he had back for sure.
Really nice ball from Kennedy there, just a frozen rope down to about midfield, and first big play potential of the year there for Malachi Davis. And instead, Trojans dodge a bit of a bullet, and it's 3rd and long for Santa Fe deep in their own territory. See if the Trojans maybe bring some pressure here. As Carricker and the safeties drop way back. Kennedy taking his time here as the play clock ticks down to about 10 seconds. Kennedy taking a long look over at that Santa Fe sideline. Play clock down to 1, and I don't know if they're going to get it off here. They're going to have to call timeout. Some confusion between the Santa Fe quarterback and the signal callers there on the sidelines, and forced to take their second timeout here of the first quarter, trailing the Trojans 13-0. So far, Coach, we've seen Caleb Dillard. We've seen the athletic ability that has gotten him some major Division I offers from all around the country. We've seen KD do KD-like things, and we've seen Lanny Kazar off to a very solid start so far. 2 touchdowns on 2 drives. We mix in an odd 2-point conversion attempt, to say the least. We'll call it odd. We've also seen a successful onside kick, so a little bit of everything here in the first quarter, and now the Trojan defense trying to step up and get the ball back.
What could you not love about the 2025 start of Trojan football, right? No, and pretty good defensive series right here. Again, Ace is going to be mindful of Malachi Davis's ability to get inside there. They don't believe that Jordan Kennedy, this quarterback, is going to make a living throwing the ball, but they are going to take some shots from time to time. Kennedy is taking over for Cason Delgado, who was at Union his freshman year, came over here to Santa Fe last year, went to BA last spring. Now he's at Muskogee, part of that new trend in high school football. So Kennedy really kind of getting his first go here.
3rd and 10 coming out of the timeout. Pass is complete, but Caleb Dillard is right there again. They get it up across the 20 to the 22-yard line, but that's only going to cut the distance in half. It's going to be 4th down, and the Wolves will punt it away. What we've seen so far, Coach, good tackle for Clark Carricker, sizing up Kennedy there on the quarterback keeper on 1st down, and a nice tackle there to make sure that the receiver didn't go any farther.
Yeah, and that's an improvement over last week. That's something they're really disappointed about. The preview just felt like they were in position lots of times but didn't get the ball carrier tackled last week, so improvement there.
Punt goes straight up in the air. This is going to be a short one. It does take a Santa Fe hop, really fortunate hop for Santa Fe. It's going to end up being a decent punt, and it will settle down at about the 44-yard line of Jenks. So with 6:59 to go, in the first quarter, it's Jenks 13, Santa Fe nothing. We'll be back with more right after this on Trojan TV.
Life doesn't wait for you to slow down. When you're moving fast and something doesn't feel right, Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma is here to help you stay in motion. Through our combined expertise in orthopedic surgery, non-surgical medicine, and comprehensive whole patient treatment, our team has your back and every other joint too. Ready to get back out there? Visit AOOK.com and let's move forward together. Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma. Heal, recover, advance.
1st and 10 for the Trojans at their own 44-yard line as Kazar and company. We'll see if they can go 3 for 3 here to start the 2025 season. Kazar will pitch it back off, and that's Malachi Dillard, and he just got tripped up there, but a flag comes in from the near sideline.
I think they're going to call a cut block by Riley Kester, who was out here leading the way around the edge for Malachi, and that was set up to have some running room there, but it's going to come back for an illegal chop behind the line of scrimmage. So, again, not the way that Coach Chronister wants things to happen, and this is going to be a costly penalty. It's going to move them way back. You don't have a whole lot of plays scripted for 1st and 25. That may be a spot foul. I can't remember exactly where they're going to spot that off on.
Trojans were able to overcome a penalty on the last drive. That was only of the about 5-yard variety as opposed to the 15-yard variety. So what started as promising field position at the 44 has now been knocked back to the 29.
Yeah, and again, it was a good play call, good design. You're showing, an option kind of run look to KD into the boundary, come back with a reverse this way, and then Kester, all he needed to do was just shield that guy. But the illegal chop block is costly here. I don't think they're going to try to get it all back in one chunk here.
Kazar back, fires quickly over to Caleb Dillard on the right side, fighting for some yards out by the numbers, and taken down there by Dalton Goodwin. Decent chunk on 1st down. They got about 9 of it back. It'll bring up 2nd and 16 for the Trojans.
Yeah, Dillard just sitting down on a little quick hitch route right there. getting 8 or 9 yards. Good first down pickup.
3 receivers left. Dillard, the lone man to the right, and they'll hand it to KD. And he's bottled up that time by the Santa Fe defense as he plunges over the 40-yard line up to about the 41. Still a 3rd and long here for the Trojans.
Difference here on this 3rd and long, last time it was 3rd and long on our side of the field, and this one's backed up a little bit differently. So keeping the same personnel grouping in there. With Braxton Daniel, the tight end, split out wide as a wide receiver. 1 back in the backfield, KD.
3-man front for Santa Fe. And Kazar looking left. He'll swing it out and too far in front of Caden Jones. Had to lead him a little bit as to avoid one of the Santa Fe defenders there and just put it too far out in front of his running back. And so the Trojans will have to kick it away. There will be no 3 for 3 in this first quarter. 2 touchdowns on their opening drives, but this time that penalty proves costly as it backs them up. And too much to overcome for the Trojan offense this time around.
That's the kind of thing that drives the coaches crazy. You make the mistake. Of course, besides the penalty, Dillard did trip, and so he wasn't going to get all the yardage that we wanted to out of that play. But that's what they wanted to do from last week to this week, is eliminate those costly penalties that are just putting yourself at a disadvantage on the offensive side of the ball.
And as you've already seen, Caleb Dillard does it all. He catches, he plays defense, and this punt is muffed. It goes off the receiver's hands, a pile up there, and I believe Santa Fe is very, very fortunate to get back on it. Good punt by Dillard as we check out the replay here.
Yeah, I think this is one that actually the coaches are going to really talk about, Coach Morris' special teams unit, because I think that your first guys down there are expecting this fair catch and not expecting it to careen off of him, and so he's very fortunate. The returner there actually puts his hands up over his head. You want to kind of put your hands the other way and let it come into your breadbasket there, and as it bounced away from him, he was able to dive on it before those Trojans were able to grab it.
Replays this season on Trojan TV brought to you by Matt McCoy Insurance. That was Malachi Davis again. So Davis has a dropped pass and now a muffed punt after signaling for fair catch. Fortunate to get that one back. And the Trojan defensive line bows up to make a stop here. Gain of about maybe half a yard. Not much more.
Yeah, they're looking for Rhett Pangburn, obviously, and McAnally to do some damage up there on the defensive line and really help those linebackers and give them a chance to kind of develop throughout the season and get some of that experience.
3 receivers right for Kennedy. He will throw it over there. It is batted around, and did it hit the ground? Yes, it did. Official on the far side there says it did hit the turf, and that's incomplete. That was a ball that was in and out of the hands of the receiver and then thought maybe it could be picked off by one of the Trojan defenders in the area, but it falls harmlessly to the turf and brings up a 3rd and 9.
Well, it may be harmless, but there's some people on this side of the press box that were kind of having their blood pressure escalate pretty quickly. And now they've got a penalty because their wide receiver moves, and so they're going to back up 5 more yards.
Little bit of the typical sloppiness that you would expect from game 1 of the season as both these teams try to find their footing and find a rhythm. We saw the Trojans come right out of the gate with no trouble at all, marching it right down the field. It resulted in a Caleb Dillard touchdown. Next drive after an onside kick, Trojans go down and score as KD punches it in. And that's where we stand, 13-0 Jenks, with still just over 5 minutes remaining in this first quarter, and a 3rd and long upcoming for Santa Fe. 4th consecutive season that the Trojans and the Wolves have met each other in the season opener. Kennedy from the shotgun fakes a handoff, looking, and he's going to be wrapped up and taken down.
Yeah, that's go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's Rhett Pangburn.
Yeah, and the reason it's kind of hard to tell it's Rhett Pangburn is because that's not the same Rhett Pangburn from last year, right? I mean, he has put on some serious muscle from the weight room this summer and bulked up quite a bit. So it's good to see him. He's kind of looking a little Cash Jacobsonian right there. Bulked up and does a great job of getting behind the quarterback and bringing him down for the first sack of the season.
Nickname is the Swimmer because of his prowess in the pool, but now he's doing some work on the football field. Here's another high punt. This one takes a jinx bounce as it hits at the 35 and then slams it into reverse and it's down at the 26-yard line. So incredible starting field position here for the Trojans on what will be their fourth offensive possession of the night. Been a bit of a slow-moving first quarter so far. Still 4:20 to go, and the Trojans on top 13-10 here on Trojan TV. So I beg your pardon, I said the 26-yard line, actually inside the middle there, but it won't matter as the Trojans will back it up. The middle there, but it won't matter as the Trojans will back it up. So penalties on consecutive drives, like you like to say, Coach. You like to say, Coach Fox, have to be driving the coaches a little bit crazy. There was the 15-yarder personal foul call on the previous drive that the Trojans. Clearly, I would say it's 4-down territory here for the Trojans.
Most definitely. But that's where you want to get to that marker, and the ball running back a little bit. Does a great job of securing the catch in a tight spot. So kudos for that. But kind of brings up the look out of Wildcat here like we had for the 2-point conversion last week.
Matt Kazar is off the field, so it's KD from the Wildcat. He'll take the direct snap. Nothing there. Kicks it back to the left. Has the first down. Maybe more. Inside the 5-yard line goes KD Jones. It's a first down Trojans. That first down is brought to you by the 10 District, and it will set up a 1st and goal Jenks.
They're going to keep the jumbo package with Julian Tugwell in there as an extra running back.
Jones and Carricker out there now. Jones will keep it himself, trying to weave his way along the line of scrimmage. Nothing there originally, and then gets pushed back. Looked like he might have had a window that closed really quickly. It'll be a gain of about a half-yard. Nice job there by the Santa Fe defense to keep KD out of the end zone.
Kind of ping-pong balling around right there, trying to make something happen over the left side. This is what they call their hippo set. They're bringing an extra lineman. Julian Tugwell will play some defensive lineman this year, but he's coming in this heavy package right here, kind of a goal line look. And this one still has Kazar out there on the field.
Again, this time Carricker to the right of KD. KD will keep it again, trying to just bull his way forward and keep those legs turning. Gets down at the 1, short of the goal line, and it'll be 3rd and goal for the Trojans.
Yeah, excuse me right there, Rob. I apologize. I said Kazar was on the field, and that's Carricker there next to him. And again, they're very pleased with Carricker's development, not only on the defensive side of the ball, but feeling like he can be a threat in the backfield. So this may be a head coach decision here early in the season. Is this 4-down territory right here, or is this not? Of course, if we score on this play, it's all moot.
Malachi Dillard in motion. They run the wheel route to KD, and he drops it in there perfectly. What a strike from Landon Kazar to Caden Jones. Touchdown, Trojans.
Coach Chronister spares Coach Gaylor from having to make that decision. Nice play right there. They're expecting the wheel. The safety comes over. He gets there late, but Landon just puts enough loft on it. If he throws a bullet right there, then it's going to probably at least get knocked down, if not picked off. So he does a nice job of floating it out there and giving KD a chance to run under it and make it a little bit harder for that safety to get over and make a play. So good call, good poise right there by the young quarterback.
Gorgeous delivery by Kazar as he puts just the right amount of air, just the right amount of touch on that football for KD to run underneath it. So KD now has a receiving touchdown to go along with a rushing touchdown, 2 touchdown passes. Still in the first quarter for Landon Kazar as Mahan is on to attempt the extra point. It is up, and it is good. So with 1:59 to go in quarter number 1, the Trojans are all over the Wolves here in Santa Fe. It's Jenks 20 and Santa Fe nothing. Back with more right after this. You're watching Jenks football on Trojan TV.
Hey Trojans, get the only card that donates to Jenks Public Schools every time you use it. TTCU Federal Credit Union has donated more than $160,000 so far. Support the Trojans with your card today.
Make every occasion unforgettable with Waldo's Chicken and Beer. From corporate lunches to special events, enjoy our irresistible dishes, including breakfast. Waldo's full-service catering has you covered. We'll handle the food so you can focus on what matters. Waldo's Chicken and Beer, catering made easy.
Jenks leading Edmond Santa Fe 20-0. And this kickoff is brought to you by Ace Hardware. End-over-end kick, fielded at about the 8-yard line. Coming right, gain of about 2 that time, as it was Rashawn Benson, the ball carrier for Santa Fe.
Pierce Brand coming from his linebacker position to force that back into the rest of that Trojan defense to hold that play to a minimum. Good play defense side of the ball. And I've been around Coach Gaylor and with him, seen him, didn't know a little difference. No, he's still defensive coordinator. You know, when he's just the defensive coordinator, pregame, he's kind of got his headphone on, he's laying down, chill in the corner of the locker room or whatever. I come today, not the case. Coach, you're right, because you're not listening to music. I'm HBC, the head ball coach, could be nothing anymore, you know. So probably a little more painter on playlist for the Trojans this season.
Here's Key out of timeout. Left, and he won't be able to do it. He is wrapped up and taken down in the field. That's Kid Klein, who got to him, used his speed to wrap up around the hips and wrapped him. It's another defense stand for the Trojans, a thrown out for Wolves.
Young sophomore, they're really, really excited about. That was an outstanding defensive end at Union and later for the University of Oklahoma Sooners. He came off that edge, just he's seen lots of times, does a nice job with the speed, but not to get here, but finish the play with the tackle.
Do get punt away just before the first quarter expires. Cade will field at 41-yard line. Left, he's some room. Got man, he does. And a walk down the sidelines. Trojans, the first one of this season, has top 20-0, leading Edmond Santa Fe. You are watching Jenks football here on Trojan TV.
When you've got to spend some time away, there's no better place for your best friend. With 17,000 square feet of fun, you can both take a no-guilt vacation. Relax, both of you. Pick up a new skill. Chow down on some well-deserved vacation food. Make new friends. Have a spa day. And finally, come home to your best friend. Woodland West Pet Resort. Sit, stay, and play. Located next to Woodland West Animal Hospital off Highway 70.
Pain slows you down. Even the simplest movements can feel out of reach. But you don't have to go through it alone. At Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma, we provide the results you want and the care you deserve. From diagnosis to recovery, our specialists offer advanced treatment and personalized care so you can heal and get back to what moves you. Because life keeps moving, and we'll keep you moving with it every step of the way. Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma. Heal.
At Our Best Bank, we believe financial confidence should be within reach for everyone. That's why we're here to
start of the second quarter here, as Kazar drops the ball, has to go back to get it right at midfield. And Coach Fox, I got to say, I'm a little bit confused because there was no time on the clock when they ran that play. And I'm guessing it's because the first quarter ended on a penalty. They ran that play in the same direction, and now I believe the first quarter has officially come to an end.
But it sure took a long break between that last play of the first quarter, right? So a little bit of confusion. Again, it's week 0 for everybody, right?
Making that the first play, or the last play of the first quarter, so the first play of the second quarter will be right from the midfield stripe. While we have a moment, let's run down some of those first quarter numbers for you. As in that first quarter, the Trojans outgained Edmond Santa Fe 166 yards to -6. How's that for a defensive start to the year? -6 yards for the Wolves in that opening frame. Trojans had 76 of those yards through the air and 90 on the ground. 22 total plays run for Jenks to just 7 from Edmond Santa Fe. 6 first downs, 0 for Santa Fe.
So you look at that stat on how many offensive plays we ran. You said 22, is that right?
22 total plays, yes.
Yeah, and that's right about where Coach Chronister wants them. He wants them about 80 plays a game. So that's the pace, that's the tempo. You saw that lots of times, especially if they had a first down. They're trying to get right up on the ball. Put a lot of pressure on the defensive staff, particularly when you have offensive weapons that you can put in multiple locations. But starting this drive out again, 2nd and long behind the chains.
2nd and 14 And Kazar this time on the end around will give it to Malachi Dillard, and Dillard is chased down from behind and hauled down. That's going to be another loss for the Trojans.
There's a penalty
and I think we've got a
flag.
flag down there. I wonder if that might have been a little bit of a horse collar, as it's Jalen Battle who was running after Malachi Dillard. Not an easy guy to track down, and Battle, a big fella, able to do so pretty nimbly, but might have not brought him down the correct way.
So the Trojans going to catch a break there on a big penalty, but just haven't been able to get Malachi Dillard just untracked yet. Trying to get him the ball in a couple different opportunities. So this is going to really help him out.
Personal foul is going to move the ball inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. They'll bring up about a...
Well, they moved the chains, and they shouldn't have moved the chains unless they're calling it a first down, which a lot of confusion right now. So if it's not a first down, they have no idea where the chains were supposed to be prior to this last play.
Early season for the officiating crew as well.
Everybody's at week 0.
Adam Gaylor out to have a brief conversation with the referee, and I think they've got it set now. Second down and about 2.5 for the Trojans from the Santa Fe 38-yard line. Not much has been able to stop the Jenks offense so far tonight except for themselves. Kazar and KD along with Caleb Dillard in complete command so far, and a good showing by this Jenks offensive line. Kazar back to pass. He'll swing it out to Dillard. To the left, makes a move and got ankle tackled there right at the 36-yard line, right at the first down marker. And they're going to give him the spot. They're going to go ahead and move the chains. It'll be a first down Trojans, brought to you by the 10 District.
I think we kind of lost a yard on the spot. So I thought he was well past the chains. But,
well, now they're moving. Kazar put it in the belly of KD, then pulled it out, kept it himself, crosses the 35 down to about the 33-yard line. Make it a gain of 3 for Kazar on the keeper, and again, the Trojans will look to go quickly here.
Nice read right there as they swallowed up KD, and he kept the ball and went straight up the field.
Kazar, another quick drop. Now back to Jalen Cato. Cato makes a move. Looked like he had some space, but a good tackle at the 30-yard line as Cato falls forward to the 29. It'll bring up 3rd and 3 for the Trojans.
Bringing tight end and H-back into the game, changing a little personnel.
Going at lightning speed here. KD not even touched until he got close to the first down marker. Knocked down right at it and falls forward for another Trojan first down, brought to you by the 10 District.
Nice job there on the right side. Got Kester at right guard. Got Jamison Mobley, a freshman we haven't had a chance to talk about yet, but talented freshman there at right tackle.
KD again, doesn't have anything in the middle, tried to pop it out and come a little bit to his left. Met there by a host of Santa Fe tacklers. Still a gain of 4 for KD, and it'll be 2nd and 6 from the 21. Trojans wasting no time here. Kazar out. Bit of a dangerous one. That one was almost covered up there. Dillard, Malachi Dillard, that is, still able to make the catch in traffic. But it'll be a minimal gain or almost no gain for the Trojans. It'll stay right at the 21, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Pretty dangerous right there, but Dillard's able to at least bring it down and make sure that Santa Fe didn't have a chance to make a play on it.
Braxton Daniel in motion. Kazar looking to the right will go to Daniel, and he threw it too wide as Daniel could not make the adjustment and come back and grab that one. And one that Kazar might want to have back as Daniel was open right at the stick, and Kazar just could not connect with him.
Yeah, nice wheel route right there with Daniel going down the boundary.
Braxton Daniel, big target at 6'5". Trojans again on 4th and 6 now. Thought they were going to snap it. Now they'll slow things down. Still plenty of time on the play clock. 4-down territory here for Adam Gaylor as the Trojans will look to continue their offensive momentum. Kazar throws it over on the left side. It is caught right at the 15-yard line. Caleb Dillard makes the catch, and I think that's going to be just enough.
Does a nice job. He has his feet set at the sticks, but has to come back for the ball just a little bit, but still got enough of that real estate to get the chains moved.
Little bit low, but Caleb Dillard having himself a great opening game of this 2025 season. Gets the job done. Now moves over to the right side of the formation, and Kazar gives it to KD. Makes a stutter step in the backfield to get around a couple of defenders. Now Met still got his legs going. He is a tough human being to bring down, and that is a grinding 5-yard run from KD Jones.
Well, you see two things there, right? You see the athleticism of just the juke and freezes the defenders right there, and then he powers past them and is able to finish off the run, a tough run, falling forward with that leg drive. Nice job right there.
Trojans deep in Santa Fe territory yet again. They've made a lot tonight on this side of the field. Here's Kazar to Dillard, and he's popped right as the ball got there. Really nice defensive play made by number 4 for Santa Fe. That's Sean Cole Keys, the junior defensive back. Great timing on the break there.
Yeah, you see right there, Dillard's just running an inside slant and has position right there, but the defender does a nice job of running through Dillard to separate the ball from him right there to force the incompletion.
3rd and 5 from the 10. Trojans looking to add to their 20-point lead. Kazar hands it to KD. KD knifing his way inside the 5. He will have enough for another 10-district first down, and the Trojans are in business. 1st and goal from the 4.
You're thinking, man, this drive doesn't look very pretty, just like 3, 4, 5 yards, but that's what I like. It's pretty, and that's what gets us at first goal down there.
To open the game, the Trojans scored in just 1 minute and 11 seconds. More of a grinding drive here as KD takes the direct snap and bowls his way into the end zone. Another flag comes in from behind the play. And we'll have to sort this one out.
Yeah, it's going to have to come back from where it was thrown. I'm sure it's a hold, but actually a face mask that they called on us. I did not see it. But so that'll be another costly penalty that'll take a point off the board, score off the board. Second KD touchdown that's been brought back by a penalty, right?
Yeah, that's correct, and still has two the count, 2 that haven't. And that's a tough one for the Trojans. You go from 1st and goal from the 4 to 1st and goal from the 19.
I think they're talking about the spot. So we'll see what happens with Braxton Daniel there, number 9, from his tight end position, moving him to a slot on the right side. 4 receiver look with KD alone in the backfield next to Kazar.
Kazar drops back, fires to the end zone, and not on the same page with his receiver as Malachi Dillard kind of cut to the inside. That ball went outside, and it's incomplete.
I think it just floated on him. I think they had what they wanted with the inside position right there. It might have been a fade, but the defender was playing so far back. I think had the inside position, may have just floated a little bit.
Three receivers left now for Kazar. And KD to his right. He'll hand it off. KD had to avoid a man in the backfield. Now across the 10 to the 5, back inside the 5-yard line, down to about the 4. So KD gets all of the penalty back. And the Trojans will have it 3rd down and goal.
So here comes Julian Tugwell in. It's that extra lineman. You've got another H-back in the game. So looking for the big set. Kazar goes out, and KD is going to be in the backfield.
As you saw the replay there by Matt McCoy Insurance, KD takes the snap and now plunges forward, trying to drive those legs, trying to get a push from his offensive line. They are pushing, still pushing. They haven't heard a whistle yet, and it's a touchdown. The push from the big fellas up front gets KD across the line. Touchdown, Trojans.
I don't even think you can call that tush push. I know the Eagles-Cowboys game is coming up. You can't wait to see that, but I think that was just leg drive by the scrum, and we'll see here on the replay, just not giving up on the play. Those guys are driving and driving and driving, pushing the pile. Nice job right there by those guys up front.
Go until you hear the whistle, and that is exactly what the Trojans did.
Center Landon Webb, one of those guys that's doing a good job in a new position and gets him in the end zone.
Mahan puts the extra point between the uprights, and with 7:27 to go in the second quarter, Jenks is added to the lead. It's the Trojans 27 and the Wolves nothing. Back after this, you're watching Jenks Trojan football on Trojan TV.
When you've got to spend some time away, there's no better place for your best friend to stay than Woodland West Pet Resort. With 17,000 square feet of fun, you can both take a no-guilt vacation. Relax, both of you. Pick up a new skill. Chow down on some well-deserved vacation food. Make new friends. Have a spa day. And finally, come home to your best friend. Woodland West Pet Resort. Sit, stay, and play. Located next to Woodland West Animal Hospital off Highway 75 in the Jenks exit.
At Our Best Bank, we believe financial confidence should be within reach for everyone. That's why we're here to help you plan and achieve your goals at every step. Because everyone deserves a financial partner who cares. Our Best Bank, we believe.
4-yard touchdown run from Caden Jones puts the Trojans up 27-0 with 7:27 to go here before halftime. It's been a great start for the Trojans. It has been all Trojans on both sides of the ball. Always some things to clean up, no matter what, coach. The coaches will always tell you, we got to get better. We can get better. Certainly that's the case, as we've seen some penalties out of the Trojans. But in terms of just the overall execution on both sides of the ball, I think you got to be pretty pleased with what you've seen so far as Griffin McCord gets set to put his boot into the ball. And it's an Ace Hardware kickoff down to the 7-yard line. Coming right and now up the middle. Had a little bit of a seam there. Good return for the Wolves out across the 35 to about the 36-yard line.
Yeah, that last drive, there was some finesse, but there's a lot of power, right? And then that scoring play right there was just grit, determination, mano a mano. That's the kind of stuff you like to see out of your team, to respond and keep churning and keep finding a way. And so that was a nice job right there to finish off that last drive. I know they'd have been disappointed if they hadn't got it in the end zone, and it wasn't easy to get it there, but they were able to finish it off. And so I know the defense has been on the sidelines for a while. Coach Gaylor wants to see these guys get a 3-and-out, get the ball back to the offense.
Santa Fe starts from their own 35, and it's Kennedy who's back under pressure, now escapes, moves out to his left, crosses the 40, looking for first down yardage at the 45. It will depend on the spot, and I think he was able to get there. Some of the folks on the Santa Fe sideline might have wanted a hit out of bounds there.
I think there's a penalty.
And there is a penalty flag. You're right.
You're pointing at a spot foul. It's actually a hold. I think what happened is the quarterback came out of the pocket. That puts that offensive lineman in a tough position because he doesn't know that his quarterback is scrambling right there, and all of a sudden the defender changes directions, and it's just really, really easy to reach out there and grab a little cloth or a little pad. And so, but that you can see why this defensive coaching staff really has their eyes on Kennedy as the quarterback, because they know that he can do some damage with his feet.
Showed a good burst on that last scramble, showed some good speed, but it doesn't count. And instead of a first down for Santa Fe, which would have been their first down of the game, it's 1st and 15 back at their own 30. Kennedy will hand it off, and a lot of white shirts in the backfield that time.
Julian Tugwell, the first guy to get there. Big big double nickel. Julian does a nice job of getting off his block, getting that penetration and swallowing him up, and then having a host of some other Trojans get there as well.
6'1", 288-pound senior. Tugwell backs the Wolves up even farther, make it 2nd and 20. Santa Fe continues to go in the wrong direction here. Here's Kennedy trying to string it out, looking downfield, and now he's just going to have to eat it and keep it. Takes a shot along the sideline there after picking up about 3 yards. They'll mark him down at the 29. Will bring up 3rd and long for the Wolves.
So you got Pierce Brandon there, Carson Odom giving pursuit, along with Cade Hodges doing a nice job. You know, he picks up some yardage there on the scramble, but not enough to do a whole lot of damage, and you just keep everything in front of you. One of those situations, don't let him break contain, and still 3rd and long yardage for the Wolves.
2 receivers left, 1 right. Now man in motion for Kennedy from the shotgun. He's going to pause, and we've got a flag down in the defensive backfield, and that's going to be a delay of game against the Wolves. Too much time ticked off the play clock there, and going to back them up another 5.
Of course, the Wolves had 2 quick timeouts in the first quarter. Didn't help them there either.
Trojans have been able to move the ball pretty much at will through this first half, and the Wolves right now just can't seem to get out of their own way. Here's Kennedy rolling left, will lob one up to the 35-yard line. That's caught. Ace Gilliam is there, and he'll, along with some helpers, wrangle his man to the ground. So they get back to about the original line of scrimmage, which was the 35, but nowhere near enough for a first down for Santa Fe, and the Trojans will force yet another punt.
Yeah, Ace is sitting right there. As soon as the ball comes, he's able to be all over the receiver, and so they get the reception, but nice job again of tackling, and that was a point of emphasis that these defensive coaches had all week. Did not feel like they tackled well last week in the preview, so so far so good on cleaning that up this week.
Low snap, it bounces, and the punter can't field it. He's got to pick it up and run with it. And he's going to get hit hard and then loses the ball again. I don't think the Trojans were able to get on it before it bounces out of bounds, but just the misery continues here for Santa Fe.
Jake Flowers.
A bad snap as you take a look at the Matt McCoy replay here. He just couldn't quite get it and able to pick it up off the turf, and Flowers delivers a shot, separates him from the ball, and it just trickles out of bounds. But the Trojans will take over there at the Santa Fe 32-yard line. So again, prime position here to start this drive.
Sorry that, Rob. That is not a Flower delivery that the Wolves wanted to receive on that one. He just brings the wood, and of course the ball goes flying, but it was 4th down, and they're a long way from the yard to gain line there anyway. So Trojans get great field position.
People like to say, give him his flowers, right? I don't think that's what they meant.
They did not.
I don't think most punters are used to being hit like that either.
There's not a lot of people that are used to being hit like Flowers just hit him right there. That was a blow.
So the Trojans offense back at it with 5.5 to go in the first half. Kazar fakes the handoff, got it to Dillard, tried to spin out of a tackle and got wrapped up at the 25 after a completion of about 7.5 more for Kazar. He and Dillard have been on the same page all night long so far. Kazar again over to Dillard. This one gets batted up in the air and picked off. It got knocked way up in the sky, and running underneath it for the interception.
Hard to see those numbers.
That is a tough break. I believe that's Trey Robinson, the junior DB for Edmond Santa Fe. So the first break of the game, the first bounce of the game that goes Santa Fe's way is the first interception of the year for Landon Kazar, and a tough one there for the Trojan QB as that ball was deflected way up in the sky, and Robinson was the first man to it.
Well, and what you saw there is the offense was putting pressure on the defense. They weren't even lined up yet. They were still standing around, and that might have actually been in their favor because one of those linemen was able to get their big hands up there because they weren't even set yet, and they got a break.
Here's Kennedy on the keeper. Quick first stride gets him up over the 30 and pushes his way to the 33-yard line. Gain of 5 on first down for Edmond Santa Fe. You really have to think that anything moving in the right direction for Santa Fe now is a huge positive. Gain of 5 yards on first down. Kennedy, will he call his own number again? No. Hands this one off, and that one goes nowhere. Carricker again coming up. Trojans flying around, flying to the ball defensively. Again, Pangburn in there on the interior of that defense.
And that's really what they wanted to see, is this the secondary unit, the linebacker units coming up and really shutting down those running lanes after last week and what they kind of worked on. So nice job so far on Carricker and those linebackers just coming up and really supporting the run game.
Third down for the Wolves. Need to get up to the 38 to move the sticks. Handoff coming left, back to the middle. This one's going to be close. Looks like he's going to have it.
Yeah, right there, just too much push by that offensive front, moving those defensive linemen back, and just able to get a little too much going forward there.
So finally a first down for Santa Fe, and now again they go backwards one more time.
Nice job right there. Pangburn's in there. Along with, with Carson Odom.
Yeah, Carson Odom getting into the backfield, making a nice stop. Pushes the ball back to the 35-yard line, second and long. Trojans aren't going to sweat one first down for Santa Fe. They have been dominant here in this first half of football. Here's a free man coming off the edge, and he got him. A big sack by Cade Klein, and Kennedy did not see him coming until it was too late.
So 2 sacks for Cade Klein so far tonight, right?
Yeah, you can see on the replay here, just looking to the inside, Klein coming from the outside edge, and just a free run at the quarterback. You don't get too many of those as a defender, and boy, you relish them when you do.
They just didn't have him contained, but it's hard to make that play lots of times when you come free, so he does a nice job of shutting it down, securing the tackle.
So after a first down for the Wolves, consecutive negative plays, and now Kennedy rolling right, and he'll just throw this one away about 6 yards into the Santa Fe sideline. Nothing there, nobody open. And even a slight little glimmer there for the Santa Fe offense is erased very, very quickly by the Trojan defense, and it'll be punt formation yet again, and it was a wild ride last time they tried to punt the ball.
Yeah, but nice job by that defensive unit to come back after the turnover and shut them down.
Clean snap this time as he gets it off. Angling kick over to the near sideline, bounces at about the 45 and comes back around the 48, which is where they will mark it down. 2:29 to go here in the opening half. It's Jenks 27 and Santa Fe nothing.
Plenty of time here, 2:29, good field position. The scoreboard says that the Trojans have 3 timeouts. I thought we called a timeout. I thought we only have 2 timeouts, but if they're going to give us a bonus for traveling this far, I'm all for it.
That is what the scoreboard shows. 3 timeouts for Jenks, none remaining for Santa Fe.
Of course, I could be mistaken. Dr. Butterfield never asked me to teach math class at Jenks, so it could very likely be my mistake.
You're not going to appear as a sub in a math class anytime soon? It's not in your wheelhouse? Trojans take over. KD looking to stretch one out. Didn't find anything, and a nice stop made there behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go for a loss of 1. Haven't seen too many negative plays outside of the penalties for the Trojans so far tonight. A rare occurrence for Caden Jones to be taken down for a loss. Here's Kazar, low snap. Able to come up with it, steps up, delivers over the middle. He's got Cato. It's caught at the 20. Cato spinning inside the 15 to the 13-yard line. Jalen Cato with his first catch of the season, and it's a big one for the Trojans.
He's got to be excited about that. There's been a couple times that he's had inside position in the middle, haven't gotten the ball to him right there. He's running free and does a great job. Unfortunately, there's a sideline warning on the Trojan coaching staff. It's not going to cost them anything in penalties. It's just warning at this point, but perhaps too much exuberance over there on that sideline celebrating Cato's first catch of the season.
Not an easy snap for Kazar to handle. Did well, got his eyes upfield immediately, stepped up in the pocket and threw a dime to Jalen Cato. Now here's KD. KD cutting back to his right, and he's knocked down about the 6-yard line. Gain of 8 on first down for the Trojans. And again, knocking on the door here in Edmond Santa Fe. They have owned this side of the field. Here's Kazar going quickly to KD again. Little jump step, muscling his way inside the 1-yard line. They're not going to give it to him. Did not get the ball across the plane. He's down inside the 1, but it will be a first down. And you got to like the Trojans' odds from there when you got a guy like Caden Jones from inside the 1 with 4 shots at it. And there is KD. He will walk right into the end zone. Great job again by the offensive line, providing him with just enough space, and it's a touchdown for the Trojans.
Those guys have done a great job up front. We hadn't had a chance to talk about them too much. Adafe Aruru at left tackle, Bo Bright, a new guy in the lineup at left guard. Of course, Landon Webb, a new center for us there. Those guys doing a good job with Kester Mobley.
Offensive line and KD having their way with this Santa Fe defense as Mahan is on to tack on the extra point. It is up. It is good. And with 1:02 left before halftime, it is all Jenks Trojans. They lead the Wolves 34-0. And we'll be back here with more right after this on Trojan TV.
Life doesn't wait for you to slow down. When you're moving fast and something doesn't feel right, Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma is here to help you stay in motion. Through our combined expertise in orthopedic surgery, non-surgical medicine, and comprehensive whole patient treatment, our team has your back and every other joint too. Ready to get back out there? Visit AOOK.com and let's move forward together. Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma. Heal, recover, advance.
And that last Trojan touchdown by Katie Jones brought to you by Tulsa ER and Hospital. As you take a look at some of the plays from that drive, here's the completion from Kazar to Cato, Coach.
Yeah, not only does he do a nice job of getting inside position on that safety, but then securing the catch and then getting yards after the catch as he tries to break back across that back shoulder of the defender for a little extra yardage. And I know he was excited about that.
That was the key play on the drive as the Trojans add to their sizable lead here, and this kickoff will bounce at the 5-yard line and roll into the end zone for a touchback. So, you know, everybody expected big things from KD entering this season. I mean, he has delivered in every way tonight along with that Trojan offensive line. 22 carries right now for Caden Jones for 136 yards. That's an average of 6.2 yards per carry. He's got 3 touchdowns on the ground to go along with 1 receiving touchdown. 4 for KD, 1 touchdown for Caleb Dillard, and it is all Trojans here in this first half.
Well, and that's really helping that quarterback get accustomed to things, get his feet under him. So, you know, it's helping Landon develop some confidence back there. Of course, that offensive line is doing a nice job of moving the Wolves defenders around. And so KD needed to have a big night. He needed to play like the guy that he is, the leader that he is, and so far he's delivered.
Here's Kennedy. He will hand it off. And again, not much there. Carricker coming up once more from his safety position to minimize that gain. And it will go for no gain. 2nd and 10.
So you got to kind of think that Santa Fe is going to slow this down a little bit and try to get out of this half before turning the ball back over.
Kennedy slings one over the left side. A receiver lost the football and then able to hop back on it. Fortunate there as it was called a catch and a fumble.
Well, they ruled it incomplete.
Oh, they did rule it incomplete.
Because the
I beg your
clock
pardon.
stopped. So, yeah, the clock stopped. But
that was Kenneth Neely out in the flat. Clock stops with 30.5 seconds.
Well, I say that. Maybe the clock stopped because of Trojans called a time. I know the Trojans called a timeout, so maybe they did go ahead and call it complete in the fumble. Because we're 2nd down and 8 now, right?
2nd and 8, ball at the 22-yard line. Jenks opened last season, the 2024 season, with a 48-3 win over Santa Fe, leading the Wolves 34-0 here in the 2025 season opener, well on their way. And this is just sort of the appetizer for what proves to be a pretty entertaining month of September, Coach Fox, as you look down the schedule and you see the Owasso Rams and you see the Union Redhawks and then you see the Bixby Spartans. So some tough tests coming the way of the Trojans here over the next 3 to 4 weeks.
Most definitely. So we'll have a chance to see what this young team is made of. It'll be some exciting football. You talk about some appetizers. I got an appetizer for you, Rob. How about trying to figure out what the most points scored in an opening game for the Jenks Trojans is? Ooh. You know, we have a local historian, Don King, that probably knows the answer. We'll have to see about that later.
I think that might have been part of the game notes packet that Don so kindly prepared for us, as Santa Fe will run it to the right, tackled down at the 25-yard line. Looks like the Trojans will take another timeout here with 26.4 left, trying to slow things down and maybe get the ball back one more time before halftime here.
Well, you know, it has been quite an adventure and a lot of excitement every time that the Wolves have had to punt the ball. So now it's bringing up 4th down and 5. So they're going to have to punt the ball again. And we've gotten back there on a low snap, and some of the others have been a little bit taking some bounces back the Trojan way. KD actually took one to the house that was called back as a result of a block, illegal block. So Trojans definitely want to make these guys snap the ball and punt it again and see if they can make something happen before half.
Special teams has been nothing if not entertaining tonight.
Most definitely.
Trojans recovered an onside kick. We've seen a punt on a fair catch that was dropped and recovered. We've seen a bad snap on a punt. All kinds of adventures in special teams so far.
We went for 2 on the very first touchdown.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned Don King a couple minutes ago because we miss him. I know Trojan fans are looking forward to hearing Don on the call next week when the Trojans take on the Owasso Rams, and sort of the universe will be restored to order at that point when I will be relegated to my rightful spot on the sidelines. Don will regain his rightful throne here in the booth, and all will be right with the world.
Well, and next week it's going to be a little chilly. It's kind of sweater weather, you know, so you might need to have something down there on the sidelines so you don't get a little chilly.
It is wild. I mean, we went through a pretty hot stretch there in July and August, and still to be in the month of August, for the calendar to be in August and to have it be 70 degrees and cool outside, it is wild, and we'll take it.
I'm sure the historian Don King knows the coolest temperature in August for a first game.
More adventures on special teams continue as Santa Fe tries to throw it up, and they're going to be short of a first down, so the Trojans will take over again with 18.9 seconds to go. And, Coach, I'm scratching my head on that one. I'll defer to you. I don't know if that was an actual attempted punt that went awry or if that was a fake from the very beginning.
That was a called play. I'm thinking that they were looking to see if they could get a pass interference call right there in a first down, because they just gave the Trojans the ball with 19 seconds and 1 timeout left at the 28-yard line.
Trojans have a chance to strike again here from the 27. Kazar under pressure, breaks contain in the pocket, running to his right, and will be taken down inside the 25-yard line. And looks like we've got a flag down on the far side.
Yeah, they're going to call a guy out on the edge for a hold. Again, quarterback scrambling, it's hard on those guys to know, and sometimes that defender changes directions, and offensive wide receiver, a guy on the edge, lots of times it's just real easy to kind of reach out there and grab somebody. It's really hard not to do that.
So with 11 seconds left, Trojans still have 1 timeout.
But I'm thinking they start the clock as soon as they set the ball.
They'll be back at the 34-yard line. Kazar, short drop, fires it over. It is caught. Malachi Dillard makes the reception inside the 25 to the 24-yard line, and that will do it for the first half, and we've got a Trojan down behind the play.
I don't think the clock expired. I think they stopping the clock because of an injured player, so I think there's going to be another play here.
And we'll try to get a look at who that is down on the turf as soon as we can.
Now the officials are walking off the field with the ball, so that's going to do it for the first half. The Trojans are confused on why there's not another play. Looks like that was Jamison Mobley.
Well, that'll do it for the first half here from Edmond Santa Fe. Trojan domination so far. Jenks 34, Edmond Santa Fe nothing through the first two quarters. We will take a break. We'll come back with more, run down all the stats for you and break down what we just saw in the first half. You're watching Jenks football on Trojan TV.
Hi, this is Matt McCoy, former Jenks Trojan. I'm a proud Trojan sponsor this fall. I'm excited for Coach Gaylor and the team. I'd love to help you with your insurance. Please give me a call for a free quote or come by my office at 81st and 129th.
Come with us to the new Meteora location on 61st and Yale. If you haven't been to Meteora before, you are missing out. From the large portions to the great prices, this is really one of the best places to eat in Tulsa. Not to mention the incredible service you receive from each team member. So get to Meteora on 61st and Yale as soon as you can, and don't forget to try the churros.
It's more than a job.
It's more than a job.
It's more than a job. It's more than a job.
It's more than a job.
It's more than a job.
It's more than a job. It's a calling.
Hey Trojans, get the only card that donates to Jenks Public Schools every time you use it. TTCU Federal Credit Union has donated more than $160,000 so far. Support the Trojans with your card today.
Make every occasion unforgettable with Waldo's Chicken and Beer. From corporate lunches to special events, enjoy our irresistible dishes, including breakfast. Waldo's full-service catering has you covered. We'll handle the food so you can focus on what matters. Waldo's Chicken and Beer, catering made easy.
When you've got to spend some time away, there's no better place for your best friend to stay than Woodland West Pet Resort. With 17,000 square feet of fun, you can both take a no-guilt vacation. Relax, both of you. Pick up a new skill. Chow down on some well-deserved vacation food. Make new friends. Have a spa day. And finally, come home to your best friend. Woodland West Pet Resort. Sit, stay, and play. Located next to Woodland West Animal Hospital off Highway 75 in the Jenks exit.
Pain slows you down. Even the simplest movements can feel out of reach. But you don't have to go through it alone. At Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma, we provide the results you want and the care you deserve. From diagnosis to recovery, our specialists offer advanced treatment and personalized care so you can heal and get back to what moves you. Because life keeps moving, and we'll keep you moving with it every step of the way. Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma. Heal, recover, advance.
At Our Best Bank, we believe financial confidence should be within reach for everyone. That's why we're here to help you plan and achieve your goals at every step. Because everyone deserves a financial partner who cares. Our Best Bank, we believe.
The defensive starters tonight for your Jenks Trojans are presented by U.S. Army.
Luke McAnally, Jr., defensive line. Brett Pangburn, Senior, D-line.
Orlando Williams, Jr., defensive end.
Cade Klein, sophomore, outside linebacker. Carson Odom, sophomore, outside linebacker. Pierce Brand, Jr., inside linebacker.
Devin Whalen,
Jr., linebacker. Ace Gillen, Senior, DB.
Clark Carricker, Jr., safety.
Caleb Dillard, Jr., safety.
Lincoln Middlestat, Senior, corner.
Owen Mahan, Jr., kicker.
Sam McCowan, Jr., long snapper.
The offensive starters tonight for your Jenks Trojans are presented by Batteries and Bulbs.
Adonfe Ruru, Jr., O-line.
Bo Bright, Senior, offensive line.
Landon Webb, Jr., offensive line.
Riley Kester, Senior, offensive line.
Jamison Mobley, freshman, O-line.
Braxton Daniel, Jr., tight end.
Jalen Cato, Jr., receiver.
Caleb Dillard, Jr., wide receiver.
Malachi Dillard, Senior, wide receiver.
Katie Jones, Senior, running back.
Landon Kazar, Jr., quarterback.
Yes, sir! Let's go, boy. Come on, baby. Let's go. Let's go, crew. It's clobbering time, boy. Are you Mike? Yeah. You know, junior stuff. Nothing outlandish. Let's go. Finally back. Choctaw, lot in Bentonville. This one. Head tap here. Head tap. Hey. Hey, me. This one. Head tap here. Head tap. Hey. Hey, me.
Oh. Get the ball outside. There you go. Get outside with it, Clark. Outside with it.
Go ball! Hey, I'm not gonna lie, I did not hear what he said.
And welcome back to Santa Fe Stadium here at Edmond Santa Fe High School. Jenks Trojans leading the Santa Fe Wolves 34-0 at halftime. And here are your halftime stats brought to you by Good Sense. And you can see just an incredible disparity in the total yards there in the first half of football. 286-11. The Trojans moved the sticks 12 times, 12 first downs to just 1 for Edmond Santa Fe. Jenks did have the lone turnover on that interception, that unfortunate interception that was tipped up. But other than that, and the fact that the Trojans have had 8 penalties for 80 yards, all the stats and all the numbers point to a completely one-sided affair here tonight, and that's what's playing out right in front of us, Coach Fox.
Yeah, this coaching staff is definitely talking about cleaning up the mistakes, not making penalties, not turning the ball over, those kinds of things. But, they have so far been able to overcome those. Again, as the season progresses and we get into the meat of the schedule that you just mentioned, headed to Owasso next week and then the Backyard Bowl the week after, and then Spartans coming to Jenks America. We gotta reduce the mistakes that we make and force teams to make other mistakes. And one of the things that Coach Gaylor was not satisfied with defensively last year was the turnover ratio. And so far we have not come up with a turnover, and I know, again, that's a goal that he always has. So those are some of the things that they're talking about, and they're also talking about, don't let down, keep the pedal to the metal, play the way that you've been coached, play hard and play to the end. So I think those are some things they'll be looking at, for the second half for sure. But not a lot that you can be displeased with this, production so far.
Yeah, running through some of the other stats here, some of the individual stats on the Trojan side of things. Landon Kazar, the junior quarterback, making his first start for the Trojans. 11-16 in the first half for 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and 100 yards passing. Caleb Dillard so far has been his favorite target. 8 catches for 77 yards and a touchdown. And, of course, KD doing what KD does on the ground for the Trojans. 22 carries, 136 yards. That's good for 6.2 per carry. He's got 3 touchdowns on the ground to go along with the receiving touchdown that we saw in that first quarter, running a nice wheel route. Great delivery by Landon Kazar. And we mentioned in the pregame, Coach, that Caden Jones needed just 68 yards to pass Rocky Kalmus to move into sole possession of 10th place on the all-time rushing yardage list in Jenks history. He needs 300 yards, or needed 300 yards at the beginning of the game to move into 9th place and pass Freddie Carolina, and then just 319 yards to go to pass his dad, Kewan Jones, for 8th all-time. So KD Jones has already moved up the charts one spot tonight, and if tonight is any indication of how the first half has gone, it won't be long over the next several weeks before he continues to move up those charts. So came into the night with roughly 2,756 yards, now over the 2,800-yard mark, and continuing that climb to be one of the best running backs in Jenks history, no question about that, and on his way to Stillwater next year. So it's a lopsided game. You're happy about that if you're the Jenks coaching staff. You want to clean some things up, as you said. What else are you doing to just emphasize the mental focus and the sharpness that you want to see coming out in the second half?
Well, you want these guys that started the game to finish strong, and you don't know how many more snaps they're going to get. They don't know how many more snaps they're going to get, right? So they don't want to be messy. They don't want to be sloppy. They know that they're going to have to get ready to run the gauntlet the next 3 weeks. So come out and play the way that you've been coached, the way you've been taught, with tenacity, with intensity, no mental busts, no mental breakdowns. And then you want to see those guys that step up next to do the same thing and carry the banner. So those are things that they're getting straight. Rob, we gave a little appetizer, so to speak, in the first half about a coaching debut, what the most points that someone scored in their coach's debut. I know you know the answer because the historian Don King laid it out there for us.
Yes, he did.
I think there'd be some people that would be really surprised.
Really surprised also to see just what a massive number that is.
Well, you could go back to, let's see, what year? 1962. Head coach Doyle Taylor, in his debut in 1962, went to Cushing, and at Cushing, his squad put up 42 points in a 42-6 victory. And you're looking at the Trojans
decent
34-0 going, yeah, I think we got a shot at that, And maybe Coach Gaylor is thinking the same thing, and Coach Chronister, but Coach Chronister has his work cut out for him if he truly wants to get that record, because the record is incredible. You want to share what that is?
You go ahead. You got it right in front of you there.
Do I have it in front of me?
Do
really?
you? I know it's over 100. It's over 100 points, isn't it?
It is 108
there we go.
point win, 108 points to 6 points in 1919. This is the historian Don King, the man, the myth, the legend, over the Uchi Indian Academy at Jenks, with a big win in the head coaching debut of W.W. Wilcox.
Old Triple Dub. Old WWW
right.
himself.
That's
Before there was the World Wide Web, there was W.W. Wilcox.
That's right. Stepping up for the Trojans in his debut in 1919, scoring 108 points for an 108-6 win in 1919 in his debut. But, we look at this, and this is Coach Gaylor's debut, and we wondered how things were going to come together, especially on the offensive side of the ball. With so many new offensive coaches. Again, Coach Yeager, the newest of the coaching staff, our quarterback coach, outstanding quarterback at Broken Arrow. A lot of Trojan fans will remember him as a high school player. He's coming to join the Trojan family, and he's only been here about a month. So lots of adjustments and getting to know each other. I think one of the other things that helps out this staff, though, and Coach Gaylor, is he's got a lot of guys that have been head coaches at other places. Coach Matt Webb, coming from Texas, he's been a head coach. Of course, Doug Greenwood's been here for a while. He's been a head coach. Coach Willie Ponder, he's been a head coach. So you've got guys that have been there, done that, got the T-shirt, got the accolades, know what it's like to get a team ready. And, of course, Coach Gaylor's been a head coach at Westmore prior to this season. So that really helps him in his quest to bring these guys together as a unit and get the team ready to be how they need to be. Speaking of Coach Ponder, I got to say one thing. Mm-hmm. So today's the big Trojan back-to-school rally, and got to give a shout-out to our communications team. You and your team did an outstanding job of helping organize that. But one of the great features was a feature on Coach Ponder and the impact that he's made in the classroom at West Intermediate with a particular student, and he and his dad told that story, and some great footage there. I think there's a lot of misty eyes. I don't know if people's allergies acting up in the Frank Harold Fieldhouse today as we watch that, but great job by your staff, but also just shows what kind of people we have working with our young people. And shout out to Coach Ponder, the difference he's making, not just on this football team, but at West Intermediate as a teacher as well.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. Thank you for saying that, by the way. And like you said, echo those sentiments about Coach Ponder. Just what a wonderful guy he is, the impact that he's making on students of all ages across this district, not just on the football team and on the football field, but a guy who loves his work as a PE teacher, as a health teacher over there at West Intermediate with the 5th and 6th graders, and just has a way about him of making a connection with a kid when it matters the most. And kids who may be struggling with some behavior issues, there's just something about Coach Ponder and his demeanor and his personality that gets those kids to turn around, to flip a switch, and he's truly someone who sees the good in every kid, and we're fortunate to have him at Jenks. So we are going to go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, and it's not just Coach Ponder. Obviously, we've got other people that are influences like that across our football coaching staff, but athletic director Clay Martin, I know that's something that's important to him. He's looking for people of influence and integrity, and so our athletic department does a great job of putting people in the path of the students and athletes across the district. So appreciate Coach Martin's leadership in the athletic department, bringing those type of people to our programs.
We're going to take a break here on Trojan TV. We'll be back to wrap things up on this halftime report. Back with more right after this. You're watching Jenks Trojan football on Trojan TV.
Our pets are more than just pets. They're our people, our family. And when they get sick, we want them to be cared for like family. At Woodland West, pet care is personal. We care for your animals the same way we care for our own. As the most comprehensive facility in the Tulsa area for everything from diagnostics to treatment, you can trust that our team of compassionate veterinary experts are delivering the care your animal deserves. Your pet is always there for you. Let us be there to keep them in good health. Woodland West.
Life doesn't wait for you to slow down. When you're moving fast and something doesn't feel right, Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma is here to help you stay in motion. Through our combined expertise in orthopedic surgery, non-surgical medicine, and comprehensive whole patient treatment, our team has your back and every other joint too. Ready to get back out there? Visit AOOK.com and let's move forward together. Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma. Heal, recover, advance.
At Our Best Bank, we believe financial confidence should be within reach for everyone. That's why we're here to help you plan and achieve your goals at every step. Because everyone deserves a financial partner who cares. Our Best Bank, we believe.
Hi, this is Matt McCoy, former Jenks Trojan. I'm a proud Trojan sponsor this fall. I'm excited for Coach Gaylor and the team. I'd love to help you with your insurance. Please give me a call for a free quote or come by my office at 81st and 129th.
Come with us to the new Meteora location on 61st and Yale. If you haven't been to Meteora before, you are missing out. From the large portions to the great prices, this is really one of the best places to eat in Tulsa. Not to mention the incredible service you receive from each team member. So get to Meteora on 61st and Yale as soon as you can, and don't forget to try the churros.
It's more than a job.
It's more than a job.
It's more than a job.
It's more than a job. It's more than a job. It's more than a job.
It's more than a job. It's a calling.
Hey Trojans! Get the only card that donates to Jenks Public Schools every time you use it. TTCU Federal Credit Union has donated more than $160,000 so far. Support the Trojans with your card today.
Make every occasion unforgettable with Waldo's Chicken and Beer. From corporate lunches to special events, enjoy our irresistible dishes, including breakfast. Waldo's full-service catering has you covered. We'll handle the food so you can focus on what matters. Waldo's Chicken and Beer, catering made easy.
Welcome back to Edmond Santa Fe here on the opening night of the 2025 season. Jenks Trojans leading the Santa Fe Wolves 34-0 as we get set to start the third quarter. Let's recap those scoring plays in the first half for the Trojans. It didn't take them long. Right out of the gate, just 1 minute and 11 seconds into the game, it was a 19-yard touchdown pass from Landon Kazar to Caleb Dillard They capped off a 6-play, 65-yard drive. They went for 2, didn't get it, so it was 6-0 Trojans. And then a 5-play, 42-yard drive that took just a minute off the clock, capped off by a Caden Jones 1-yard touchdown. Extra point made it 13-0 Trojans, still in the first quarter. And then it was Jones again, this time with an 11-yard touchdown pass from Kazar. 7 plays, 24 yards in 2 minutes and 19 seconds for a 20-0 lead. In the second quarter, it was Jones with a 4-yard touchdown run and helped into the end zone by his entire offensive line there. 16 plays, 36 yards in 4 minutes and 34 seconds. 27-0 Jenks at that point. And then Caden Jones finishing with another 1-yard touchdown run, finishing off a 5-play, 52-yard drive that took a minute and 13 off the clock to make it 34-0 Trojans, and that is where we stand at this point as they've added just a couple more minutes on the halftime clock here for these teams to get warm. So Santa Fe will get the ball to start this second half, and Coach, it's hard to imagine a much better defensive performance from Adam Gaylor's club. As we look at some of the team stats, just 1 first down in that entire first half for Edmond Santa Fe. They ran just 21 total plays and had just 11 total yards, as we showed you earlier, thanks to our stats, as they've put those back up now. Nice work by our Trojan TV team there to show you the stats one more time, powered by Good Sense. 275-yard difference in the number of yards in that first half between the Trojans and the Wolves. You want to start strong, you want to start fast, I would say check and check to that. If you're a Jenks Trojans fan tonight, they have come on the road down here to Edmond, and they've been the better squad, and it hasn't been close so far.
Yeah, and you want to play well in all 3 phases of the game, right? You want your offense to execute, you want your defense to shut people down, and then you want your special teams to make plays. And so you've been able to see that tonight so far, and so that's a good thing. I do want to go back and make a correction. I was talking about a player that we had down there right at the last play of the half, incorrectly identified Jamison Mobley there as the injured player. It was actually our center, Landon Webb, who was down. He did get up and run to the locker room, so we'll see if he comes back out, but does not appear to be that he won't be in the second half. Of course, we need our sideline guy to get an injury update, don't we? I can't believe he won't be in 2 places at the same time, but I'll let it slide this week 0.
Griffin McCord has it teed up and kicks it off from right to left. And the return man coming across the 15, kind of angling his way across the 20 to the 22-yard line. That's Malachi Davis, and that's where Santa Fe will start. And I think if you're head coach Kyle White now in the Wolves, you're looking to just build some positive momentum, really of any kind here in this second half, trying to find any sort of rhythm, any sort of flow on offense that you can start to feel good about.
Yeah, and unfortunately, as the play pursued over here to the sidelines, you got a injury down on the sidelines by a Santa Fe player, but Ace Gillum does a nice job there on making sure he uses the sidelines to not give up contain and force him out of bounds, keep it from getting around the edge there. But you want to start out strong. You want to shut these guys down. You don't want to give them any life, any hope, and so we'll see how this starts out. I do expect them to be in some base defensive fronts.
Jordan Kennedy will hand it off. Ball carrier coming right. Loses the football, but they say he was down. And no gain on the play. He was taken down right at the 22-yard line.
Yeah, nice pursuit right there by linebacker core. Carson Odom doing a nice job. Pierce Brand doing a nice job tonight. Those guys are really kind of stepping into that role that they need to for lack of experience.
Here's Kennedy over on the left side now. Gillum couldn't make the tackle, and he's up the sidelines. Big gain for Santa Fe. Close to Trojan territory. One of their longest plays of the night, maybe the longest play of the night.
Yeah, and Santa Fe is trying to get back on the ball, but Ace is going to be disappointed. He moved inside. He gave up that outside leverage there, and then Davis is just such a quick player, explosive player. He gets around the edge.
All the way up to the Santa Fe 45. Handoff coming left across midfield, and another nice gain for Santa Fe. So complete absence of any sort of offensive movement in the first half, and by far their most impressive sequence of the game so far here in the first couple plays of the third quarter.
Yeah, just poor tackling so far, and that's exactly what the coaches wanted to guard against.
Gain of 9 on first down, and the Wolves are into Trojan territory. This will be a first down over the left-hand side.
Doesn't get much before he gets met there. Linebacker dealt depth by Devin Whalen there at that inside linebacker position, but just enough for that first down.
Darius Johnson, the ball carrier for Santa Fe. Good for a first down up to the Jenks 42. Handoff coming right, and big hit there in the backfield. And that was Cade Klein, and Klein looks like he's shaken up a little bit. Big collision with Darius Johnson there. Klein able to shake it off and get up. And a loss of 4 back to the 46.
Yeah, Carson Odom forces that back into Klein, and Klein delivers a shot on the ball carrier there.
Kennedy. Pressured, but gets it out to the left side and complete. Spins out of a tackle. Now coming right across the 35. Still moving inside the 30-yard line. Good for another Santa Fe first down.
Yeah, and I mean, you got a chance to tackle him at the spot of the reception, and so Ace is actually going to come off the field right there because, again, you may give up the reception, but you don't want to give up the yards after the catch.
Santa Fe now upping the tempo. Kennedy will keep it. He's got room down the left side. Kennedy striding into the end zone, and Santa Fe is on the board.
Yeah, just a defensive letdown right there, mental letdown. Not finishing plays, being out of position. You gave up the edge a couple of times that you shouldn't have given up that outside leverage. And so, again, we've said from the very beginning of the game they didn't want Kennedy to be able to use his feet, and that's exactly what he does. He gets in the end zone in a hurry, and some life and enthusiasm over here at Wolf Stadium.
Only 11 total yards in the first half for Edmond Santa Fe, and they take the opening drive and go 78 yards for a touchdown, capped off by their quarterback, Jordan Kennedy. With a nice scamper up the left sideline. Extra point is on its way, and it is good. So a positive start to this second half for the home team. And with 9:24 left in the third quarter, it's Jenks 34 and Santa Fe 7. Come back with the kickoff right after this. You're watching Trojan TV.
Hi, this is Matt McCoy, former Jenks Trojan. I'm a proud Trojan sponsor this fall. I'm excited for Coach Gaylor and the team. I'd love to help you with your insurance. Please give me a call for a free quote or come by my office at 81st and 129th.
First touchdown of the season surrendered by this Trojan defense. It's a 78-yard drive capped off by quarterback Jordan Kennedy.
Not only was it a nice drive right there, they got the extra point kicked and secured, and they only had 10 guys on the field. So the defense really lacked execution there. They couldn't block it 11 on 10, and they just out of position, and poor technique led to athleticism there of Santa Fe. And again, they'll get that cleaned up, and they'll get it taken care of. And I imagine the head coach and the defensive coordinator, who happens to be the same guy, will do a little correction on the sidelines.
Kickoffs all season long brought to you by Ace Hardware. This one is in the air and moving toward the near sideline at the 20. returned up near the 35-yard line. Santa Fe saying that they've got the football.
One guy.
Guys in green shirts pointing that direction.
One guy already called it down.
And they're trying to sort things out here out of the pile, and they're going to give the ball to Jenks. Well, it was Cade Klein on the return, and he's the guy who comes out of the pile with the football. Called his name a lot tonight. He has been busy on the defensive side and now on special teams.
The sophomore they're very excited about. You know, he kind of gave a big hit and was a little limpy and gimpy after that big hit, and now being down at the bottom of the pile even more so. One thing we're not seeing tonight, though, that we see often in week 0, no cramping.
Not yet. Not yet. Not with these nice cool temperatures. Not as much humidity as we're used to. So here comes the Jenks offense for the first time in this second half. Kazar in control, and he will push it out to Caleb Dillard. Dillard's got some space. Turns on the Jets, crosses midfield, and he's knocked down. Got separated from the football. Ball is loose. It's on the ground. Santa Fe thinks they have it, and are they going to say that he was down?
The guy on our sideline has called him down.
And a Santa Fe player is injured on the turf. Santa Fe thought that they maybe had a fumble on the kickoff, then thought that Dillard had coughed that ball up, but
they're talking about
at least for now, it appears that Jenks is going to retain possession, and we've got an injured Santa Fe player down on the field. We'll step aside. We'll come back right after this on Trojan TV.
It's more than a job.
It's more than a job.
It's more than a job. It's more than a job.
It's more than a job.
It's more than a job.
It's more than a job. It's a calling.
Hey Trojans, get the only card that donates to Jenks Public Schools every time you use it. TTCU Federal Credit Union has donated more than $160,000 so far. Support the Trojans with your card today.
Make every occasion unforgettable with Waldo's Chicken and Beer. From corporate lunches to special events, enjoy our irresistible dishes, including breakfast. Waldo's full-service catering has you covered. We'll handle the food so you can focus on what matters. Waldo's Chicken and Beer, catering made easy.
Life doesn't wait for you to slow down. When you're moving fast and something doesn't feel right, Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma is here to help you stay in motion. Through our combined expertise in orthopedic surgery, non-surgical medicine, and comprehensive whole patient treatment, our team has your back and every other joint too. Ready to get back out there? Visit AOOK.com and let's move forward together. Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma. Heal, recover, advance.
Coming out of the injury timeout, Jenks leading 34-7. Injured Santa Fe player there was Trey Robinson, able to walk off under his own power. So a little bit of controversy. Santa Fe thought maybe they had forced a fumble on that Caleb Dillard completion. Referees disagreed. Ball stays with Jenks, and now here's Kazar. He'll flip it over to the right side, where it is caught by Malachi Dillard, forced out of bounds after a gain of about 3.
Nice read by Kazar. They're bringing pressure off the edge. They had 3-on-2 into the boundary, and they brought the inside guy. He does a nice job of getting it out there to Malachi quickly.
Empty backfield for Kazar. This time to KD Jones. Jones with a little stutter step gets met there, spun out of a tackle momentarily, and then gets hauled down at the 41. So another minimal gain here on a pass out to the flat. This Jenks offense building their offense around tempo. Want to be able to get into multiple personnel, want to be able to do it quickly. And Coach Gaylor, when talking to Tyler Chronister, the new offensive coordinator, really felt like Chronister's scheme would give them a schematic advantage and try to keep defenses off balance, opposing defenses off balance. So we've seen the Trojans go in multiple speeds here. They can go really, really lightning quick when they want to, slowing it down a little bit more at the moment as they face a 3rd down and 6. KD takes the handoff. He's pulled down from behind right at about the 37-yard line, going to be 1.5 yards shy of the marker. And the Jenks offense showing no signs of coming off the field here.
offensive coordinator always thinks it's 4-down territory, so you got to see what the defense coordinator says, and his defense is playing pretty well, so he says, let's keep him on there.
And when you've got KD Jones in the backfield, you would usually think 1.5 yards is go time for the Trojans. It is here. KD trying to pick his way forward. He got close. Santa Fe thinks they made the stop as the official runs out right at the line to gain. This one's going to be close.
He's saying he's shy. That's why he stopped on that side of the line. Right there, Caden probably should have just kind of lowered his shoulder and bulldozed in. They're going to call for a measurement, but I think they measured him short. I think they marked him short because I think they had to actually touch that line, and the ball is not touching the line. So right there, KD kind of tried to stop and hit another step outside, and I think if he just lowers his shoulder and drives his legs, he gets that other couple of inches, but I think they're going to call him short.
It was 4th and 2. And it always makes me chuckle a little bit, Coach Fox, with all of the modern technology and devices that we have, technology to measure automated systems that we bring out chain link to make sure whether the nose of that ball is across that chain link. Hard to see. Is it touching? No. He's short by a link of chain.
Yeah.
1 inch shy for KD Jones.
KD needs to get back in the huddle over the sidelines and not try to talk about the spot because it's too late now anyway.
So full credit here to Edmond Santa Fe as they're down 34 points on their home field at halftime and not going away. They come out, put a drive together to get in the end zone, get their first points of the season on the board, and then a big 4th down stop by their defense.
Yeah, and I know the identity of the offense is like, if it's 4th and short, we ought to be able to get it no matter where we are on the field. So just coming up a couple inches short there.
Here's Kennedy coming off his touchdown run. He's not going anywhere this time. Was met by a host of angry tacklers, as I'm sure Adam Gaylor had a pleasant chat with his defense after the previous possession.
Yeah, McAnally gets in the backfield early, causes some disruption. You see Carson Odom in there from his linebacker position. Of course, those defensive linemen, Julian Tugwell in there. Just not much room for that for Kennedy to go anywhere.
2nd and 10 after no gain on 1st down, and now he's sacked. 2 Trojan tacklers converge on the quarterback. Looked like Odom got there along with Williams. And they sandwiched Jordan Kennedy.
Nice job, nice pressure, being in the backfield. And a guy that's as nimble and athletic as Kennedy is, even when you get back there, and even if you get back there pretty much untouched, it's not always easy. Sometimes you have a tendency to run past that quarterback. He takes a step up in the pocket, but those guys met right there at the convergence point. Nice sack right there by the defense.
3rd and long here for Santa Fe. Throwing over to the left. It's caught, but going to be well shy of a 1st down. Trojans were able to give him a lot of cushion over there, and it didn't matter, as Davis is hit hard down at the 39-yard line, and he's a little bit slow to get up now.
Yeah, Carricker does a nice job of coming up from his position and securing that tackle. And Davis is their go-to guy, and kind of looked similar to a cramp, but I don't know if he just, the way that Carricker landed on him there kind of.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of an awkward collision. So Davis was up to his feet very quickly, but not able to walk off the field just yet. While we have a moment here, I want to tell you about some of our outstanding sponsors this season of Jenks Trojan football. One of them is Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma, located at CityPlex, 81st and Lewis. Let them take care of you like they do the Trojans from head to toe at AAOK.com.
When you talk about Advanced Orthopedics and Trojan football, you got to think of Dr. Randy Hendricks, longtime team doctor for the Trojans, and he retired for his Trojan football involvement last season, but it's been a long time since Dr. Hendricks hadn't been on the sideline, so I hope he's somewhere listening to the broadcast tonight, enjoying a pleasant fall evening, but really appreciate all that he's done for our Trojan student athletes throughout the years, and of course our sponsorship and relationship with Advanced Orthopedics.
Off of the 3rd down stop, Santa Fe going to punt the ball away as KD goes back deep for the Trojans. Snap is good, and the kick is away. Going to be a little bit short here. Take a hop at the 35 and retreat a few yards back up around the 37, 38-yard line. And that is where the Trojans will have it, 1st and 10.
I think they'll have a little bit more intensity than they had on that last drive. I know they came up just an inch or so short, and I think they're not pleased with the way things have started out this half. So I think it's going to be pretty physical here on this opening play and try to get something going.
Just another note on this new Trojan offense with offensive coordinator Tyler Chronister calling the plays. You know, talking to Coach Gaylor before the season, he kind of compared it to Tennessee. A lot of wide splits, a lot of getting the ball to talented players in space. That's kind of what it's formulated around, and we see it right here. Good example of this as what they've done all night long with plays out in the flat to Caleb Dillard. Get him out by the numbers, let him try to churn up some yards with the speed of his. He's shown the good hands, getting the ball in the best players' hands and doing it quickly is what the Trojans are going for, and we've seen that over and over again tonight.
And something that makes that happen, you see Dillard on the catch, but you got to see Cato out there blocking in space, and that is not easy to do out on the edge. So you got to give it up for those wide receivers that are blocking tonight.
6-yard gain on 1st down. Kazar comes back and fired it to Cato, and as he tried to spin away from the defender, lost the grip on the football. It's incomplete.
Yeah, that's a route that he did a good job with last year, making a contribution, running that inside slant, getting that 1st down, and just lost it when he spun upfield.
So 3rd down and 4 from the 45. Trojans turned it over on downs their first time with the ball here in the second half. We'll see what they come out here with. It's a screen to Katie, an all-out blitz from Santa Fe, and Katie has it, and he's gone. Down the sidelines he goes. Caden Jones will coast to the goal line. Touchdown, Trojans, what a call.
Yeah, screen pass is something that we used quite a bit the last couple of years and hadn't seen it tonight. Ran it some last week in the preview. Perfect call right there. Santa Fe was coming on a blitz and got KD out in space, and then really nobody able to catch up with him as long as he keeps the pedal on the metal. He looked like he thought he was a little bit closer to the end zone than he was, but he turned those jets on, got in the end zone, and I know that's how they wanted that drive to go. They were not pleased with the production of the one before, so nice job getting in the end zone right there.
Got the ball in his hands right around the 50-yard line, turned it upfield. There was a gap between a couple of defenders, and it was over. Make it 5 touchdowns on the night now for the Trojan star running back as Mahan adds the extra point. And even though things sort of sputtered for the Trojans a little bit to start this second half, they get right back on track with Caden Jones. It's 41-7 Jenks. And we'll be back right after this on Trojan TV.
Hi, this is Matt McCoy, former Jenks Trojan. I'm a proud Trojan sponsor this fall. I'm excited for Coach Gaylor and the team. I'd love to help you with your insurance. Please give me a call for a free quote or come by my office at 81st and 129th.
Come with us to the new Meteora location on 61st and Yale. If you haven't been to Meteora before, you are missing out. From the large portions to the great prices, this is really one of the best places to eat in Tulsa. Not to mention the incredible service you receive from each team member. So get to Meteora on 61st and Yale as soon as you can, and don't forget to try the churros.
A 55-yard screen pass touchdown connection from Landon Kazar to KD Jones has given the Trojans a 41-7 lead. And, Coach, you saw on the replay, Santa Fe came with the all-out blitz on 3rd down, and screen pass seemed like a really, really timely play in that scenario.
Well, and what hurts there is, you know, you got that adrenaline flowing. You're ready for the blitz. You're coming. You're thinking you're getting pressure on the quarterback. Hey, I'm almost there, and then you realize it's a screen pass, and KD just takes the wind right out of your sails as he's blowing past everybody to get into the end zone. So nice series right there. Nice execution. Way to get the momentum back for the Trojans.
3 rushing touchdowns, 2 receiving touchdowns for Caden Jones as the Ace Hardware kickoff is in the air and fielded at the 10-yard line, crossing the 20 to the 25, cutting to the right and knocked out of bounds. And that's where Santa Fe will take over.
Nice job right there by Zane Seeger, finding a way to contribute there on special teams, getting the angle, ended up bringing the guy down.
So
I'm sorry, Rob. I was just going to say, special teams has done a pretty good job tonight on their kickoff coverage, and when you got 41 points on the board, your kickoff team is doing a lot of work.
That's true. A lot of Ace Hardware kickoffs tonight in this opener here in Edmond. Beautiful night for football, and it's gone really well so far for the Trojans. Pass out to the left side, and breaking tackles, getting first down yardage in front of the Trojan bench.
We got somebody down there. I'm not sure.
And we got an injured Trojan, and there's your cramp, Coach.
Oh,
you said no cramps just yet. You spoke too soon.
I did. Yeah, and that's the same kind of scheme. We had our guys backed off right there, and that's the same kind of scheme that we've tried to run there. The quick out to the outside to the wide receiver with a couple blockers out in front. The difference is Santa Fe has been playing press coverage most of the time on that. We were actually backed off a little bit, and so just didn't play off those blocks well enough to drive through those and get to the ball carrier and bring him down before we picked up the first down.
Good run after the catch there by B.J. Madison, the senior receiver for Santa Fe. Well, Santa Fe had all kinds of issues just trying to pick up a single first down in the first half and move the ball with much more ease, much more efficiency so far here in the third quarter.
I still haven't been able to see who's down with the cramp.
Gain of 12 on that first play of the drive for Santa Fe, moves the ball up to the 37-yard line.
It may have been Devin Whalen. I'm not really sure. He was coming from inside linebacker position, so we'll see. Try to keep an eye on that.
Got a great football weekend ahead of us here on Labor Day weekend with some big-time college games coming up tomorrow, and then want to remind everybody that the next Trojan TV broadcast will come your way next week from Owasso, as we'll be on the air at 7:15 for a 7:30 kickoff against the Rams. Here's Robinson again, this time on the right side, and he's bottled up pretty quickly there by 3 Trojan defenders. Got up to the 38-yard line, or 37-yard line. I think that's going to be maybe a gain of about 1.
Yeah, what really helps right there is, they're trying to seal Lincoln Middlestead, the corner, and seal him off to the inside. He fights through, gets his outside leverage, pushes the ball carrier back inside to where the Trojan pursuit is. So nice technique there.
Handoff coming left, a lot of room across the 40 and knocked down immediately. Boy, it looked like that was going to go further when it first started to materialize, but good gang tackling there by Gillum for the Trojans.
And I think Pierce Brand was there with him.
Sets up a third down from the 42. Kennedy from the pistol formation, now tailback to his left. And Kennedy will keep it, pulls it down. Good tackle made in space that time. I think that might have been, was that Daniel that brought him down?
I think it was, I'll have to check the replay here. He does a nice job of letting it ride there in the tailback and pulling it. Right there.
That was Case Easter.
Case Easter, yeah.
Nice play by Case Easter to bring Kennedy down. Stops him a yard short of the line to gain. So looked like when Kennedy took off with that ball, it was going to be a sure first down for the Wolves, but good wrap-up made by Easter, and we've got a 4th and 1 upcoming for Santa Fe. At this point, Coach, it's a 34-point margin.
Yeah,
I don't know what it hurts to try to take a shot at this.
No, they're going to. They didn't call timeout to punt the ball. So, they got some momentum from that scoring drive, and so you're right. They're thinking, hey, we got to do the things that are going to make us better down the stretch, and they enter district play, and so 4th and 1 here, and I'd say it's a short one. They're trying to think what's going to be our go-to play throughout the season that's going to establish our identity in short yardage situations.
And we appreciate Matt McCoy Insurance for being the sponsor of tonight's replays. Matt McCoy Insurance, recognized by State Farm as one of the top agents in the Southwest region. For appointments, for free quotes, call Matt and his championship team at 615-6634 or go to mattmccoyinsurance.com. 4th and 1 from their own 46. Direct snap, and we got a flag down. Flag thrown right in front of the Santa Fe sideline, and I think this is going to be offside. That's the early indication, yes. Offside against the Trojans, jumped a little too early, and so that's going to be a freebie for Santa Fe.
I think Julian Tugwell is trying to say that they moved first, and that's why there was movement on the defense, but to no avail. So the Wolves are going to pick up another first down.
That'll cross the ball into Trojan territory. Just over 4 minutes remaining here in the third quarter.
We talked about it being a new era. I just had a nice shot of our Superfan section. We got a new era in the Superfans. We got a new president, Miss Adam Gaylor. Not only is she got a familiar last name, but the first female to be president of the Superfans, and good to see them out here tonight.
Yeah, congrats to Addie. She's going to do an awesome job in that position. Santa Fe tailback running for his life here. Tried to go right, came back left. Good pursuit by the Trojans, and a lot of running across the field, all for a gain or all for a loss of a couple.
Well, Bryson Collier just meets that pulling lineman there, and he does a great job of spilling it back inside, and so the Wolves have to run back the other way, and you got Ace there with a lot of other guys, and now another penalty flag saying that we lined up offsides again.
2 offside calls in the last 3 plays here for the Trojans. The first one gave Santa Fe an automatic first down and had them for a loss of 2 on the first down play, and now back to second and much more manageable. 2nd and 7 to be exact. Kennedy will hand it off, coming right, nothing there. Taken down quickly. Orlando Williams on the stop for the Trojans.
Orlando doing a good job. This defensive lineman, last year we had Cass Jacobson, big size body in there, and this defensive front's a different identity. Of course, McAnally, good size, good movement down there, but Orlando using that lateral quickness down the line, doing a nice job of bringing down the running back coming off the jet sweep.
So 3rd and 9 for Santa Fe. Here's Kennedy. Trying to find some place to go with the football. Nobody open downfield, and then he is swallowed up and sacked.
I think Julian Tugwell's the first guy to get there, but again, Orlando and a lot of other white shirts there, and you got to give that up as a coverage sack too, because quarterback just has nowhere to go with it. See here on the Matt McCoy State Farm Insurance replay. Nice job there. Again, good job by outside leverage on our defensive end right there. Pushes him back into Julian. So Bryson Collier does a nice job keeping his outside free, making the quarterback step up in the pocket, and Big Julius is right there along with some other guys.
Yeah, Tugwell there to finish it off, as this is a high spiraling kick fielded cleanly at the 23-yard line by Caleb Dillard. Calls for the fair catch, and that's where the Trojans will take over with 2:05 to go in the third quarter. It's Jenks 41 and Edmond Santa Fe 7.
And I got to correct a mistake. I said Julius. I know better. It's Julian. I'm thinking I'm near my hometown. I'm thinking going to the mall, getting myself a big orange Julius. But that's Julian Tugwell, not Julius, so I apologize. He is going to get on to me next Tuesday in the hallway. I apologize, Julian.
I don't know if you missed a meal today. You've been talking about appetizers a lot tonight, dropping some Orange Julius references here.
You brought up appetizers first, I'm just saying, but I am fixated on it now. Thanks a lot.
I don't remember it that way.
Roll the tape.
Now we have that. Yeah, it's a thing. Roll that Matt McCoy replay. Here's Kazar starting the Trojans' possession. Scrambling out to his right, now throwing downfield, down the sidelines, got a man, it's complete. To the 30, to the 20, to the 15, to the 10. Hauled in by Braxton Daniel for a huge chunk play for the Trojans.
And a penalty flag late at the end of the play. I can't imagine it would be anything on Braxton, but Braxton does a nice job of getting down the boundary. That is not an easy catch for him to haul in. And then he's a big man, but he can run. So surely I think maybe a horse collar they're going to call there.
Definitely got a fistful of the jersey up around the collar area. Not sure if he got his hand inside the shoulder pads, but we'll see what the officials decide here. And it does look like they're going to move the ball forward. So Daniel was taken down at the 12-yard line, and they're going to move this one half the distance to the 6. First and goal, Trojans on a big first down completion from Kazar to Daniel.
That's not an easy one to catch. He has to run and get that, and that one's kind of thrown on a rope, and he does a nice job of hauling it in and making something happen with it.
65-yard completion, and now Kazar comes back to his left, and it is incomplete. Incomplete, trying to hit Cade Klein.
Yeah, I'm sorry, he's just going the inside slant there, one-on-one out here on the wide side of the field, and just a little bit low, and Cade can't quite come up with it.
Longest play of the game for either side, the 65-yard completion from Kazar to Daniel to get the Trojans down back into the red zone.
Daniel, quite an athlete, plays on the basketball team as well. Good to see him make that play.
Kazar will hand it off. I think this might have been Carricker. Clark Carricker will see some carries at the running back position this season when KD needs a little bit of a breather. And when you have a score line along the lines of what we've got tonight.
Well, and he's a change of pace, too. Just a different style back. And we'll see him in this short yardage situation, I think.
Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Here's a catch in traffic. That one was a bit dangerous as Kazar fires it out quickly over to Malachi Dillard. Makes the catch, secures the ball. That's the most important thing, but goes nowhere. And looks like the Trojans may be sending on the field goal unit.
I like this call. I know you're up 41-7, but you need to practice your field goal unit, and so why not do it in this game right here? And so I would have liked to get in the end zone, but I like bringing your kicker on.
Sam McCown is the long snapper. Jake Flowers is the holder. And Owen Mahan puts it up and through. So the first field goal of the season for the Trojans comes with 39 seconds left in the third quarter. It's Jenks 44, Santa Fe 7. We'll be back after this. You're watching Jenks football on Trojan TV.
Our pets are more than just pets. They're our people, our family. And when they get sick, we want them to be cared for like family. At Woodland West, pet care is personal. We care for your animals the same way we care for our own. As the most comprehensive facility in the Tulsa area for everything from diagnostics to treatment, you can trust that our team of compassionate veterinary experts are delivering the care your animal deserves. Your pet is always there for you. Let us be there to keep them in good health. Woodland West Animal Hospital.
Well, kicker Owen Mahan has been perfect on his extra points so far tonight, and now 1 of 1 on the season as far as field goals as we get set for another ace kickoff. Again, the Trojans so far starting the season with Owen Mahan as their place kicker, and you've got Griffin McCord in the position of kickoff specialist. He's been doing the duties tonight on our ace kickoffs. 44-7. The Trojans all over Santa Fe here as we approach the end of this third quarter.
So if you don't remember last year, it was 48-3. So fewer points for our defense and more points for the offense. But KD only had 3 touchdowns last year.
Kickoff taken at the 9, made a couple of moves, tried to come back to his right, now darting left, and corralled at the 25-yard line and taken down. That's where Santa Fe will take over.
Expending a lot of energy for those yards. So KD most likely going to call it a night. Last year he had 3 touchdowns against the Wolves, and tonight, Rob?
5, count them, 5 touchdowns for KD Jones. 3 on the ground, 2 in the air. And it has been fun to watch. 442 total yards now for the Trojans to 103 for the Wolves.
Really, you take away that opening drive of the second half, and it's not very pretty.
And that last scoring drive for the Trojans was 5 plays, 71 yards in a minute 26. And, of course, the big play was the Kazar to Daniel 65-yard reception. Pass over to the near side is caught. Forward progress will take him up to the 26. Just a gain of 1 for Malachi Davis. And, again, Trojans have done a pretty good job of gang tackling tonight. I know that was an emphasis for Adam Gaylor, which you want to play fast on offense, but you want to have the quickness on defense too, and want to get to the ball, pursue the ball with effort and intensity, and I think we've seen that. I think that showed up so far tonight.
And you've got some reserve guys coming in as the quarter comes to an end.
3 in the books here from Edmond. Jenks leading Santa Fe 44-7. We're back with the start of the fourth quarter right after this on Trojan TV.
Life doesn't wait for you to slow down. When you're moving fast and something doesn't feel right, Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma is here to help you stay in motion. Through our combined expertise in orthopedic surgery, non-surgical medicine, and comprehensive whole patient treatment, our team has your back and every other joint too. Ready to get back out there? Visit AOOK.com and let's move forward together. Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma. Heal, recover, advance.
At Our Best Bank, we believe financial confidence should be within reach for everyone. That's why we're here to help you plan and achieve your goals at every step. Because everyone deserves a financial partner who cares. Our Best Bank, we believe.
It's more than a job.
It's more than a job.
It's more than a job. It's more than a job. It's more than a job. It's more than a job.
It's more than a job. It's a calling.
Time to start the final quarter of the first game with Jenks all over Santa Fe here in the opener, 44-7. It has been an impressive performance all around for the Trojans in all 3 phases tonight as Santa Fe takes over at their own 25-yard line. Beg your pardon, second down, 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Nice tackle right there, running through from his linebacker position for the Trojans. Case Easter doing a really good job of securing the tackle out on the edge.
No gain there, brings up 3rd and long for Santa Fe. Kennedy showed a flash earlier in the third quarter of what he's capable of with his legs, but the Trojans have kept him contained. He breaks contain here, darts across the 30-yard line up towards the 35. We'll have to check the spot as the marker was right at the 35. They're going to give it to him. That'll move the sticks for the Wolves, and Kennedy picks up a first down. Right on cue, as I talked about his ability with his legs, able to get outside of the pocket and pick up that first down.
Yeah, they're looking for Malachi Davis down here and do a nice job. Ace is out of the game, but you got Zion Castleberry doing a nice job of covering him, but then Kennedy's able to break contain and get the first down with his legs.
Castleberry lined up right on Davis, now backs off a little bit as they hand it off, and this will go for a gain of a couple.
Nice job there by Easter again, along with Jake Flowers.
Yeah, Rashawn Benson on the carry for Santa Fe. Gain of 3. Going back to Malachi Davis, he had that opportunity in the first quarter with the long pass. It hit him in the hands. He was unable to hang on to the ball, and would have been a big play, would have been a big momentum swing in favor of Santa Fe, and just they've done a good job keeping him bottled up tonight, as Kennedy will have to throw this one away into his own bench.
Yeah, I think there was some miscommunication there. I think Kennedy was thinking that was going to be kind of a stop-and-go route, and Davis, if that was the case, Davis never took off again on the go part, and so just kind of had to eat that there and bring up a big third down play.
Kennedy able to pick up the previous third down by scrambling out of the pocket. We'll see what he comes up with here. Man in motion to the near side. And Kennedy will keep it himself and runs into a white wall. Nothing there up the middle for Jordan Kennedy. Nice job on the read by the Trojan defense, and it'll be time for the Wolves to kick this one away.
Jake Flowers, Carson Odom, just two of those guys there just shutting it down, not giving Kennedy a chance to squirt through the line of scrimmage.
Never mind, 4th and 6, their own side of the field. Santa Fe offense stays out there, going to go for it here. Trailing at home, 44-7. 4th and 6. Rush coming off the edge. Kennedy escapes to his left, now tosses, and it's caught. Malachi Davis goes up and makes the grab. A nice 4th down conversion by the Wolves. Takes the ball inside Jenks territory to the 45-yard line, as Malachi Davis a little bit hobbled getting up there, but
yeah, just a miscommunication.
Nice job making the catch.
There. I'm sorry, Rob. Just a miscommunication because there were two receivers and only one defender in the area.
Kennedy keeps it this time, and nicely played by Odom.
Not fooling anybody and securing the tackle there in the backfield against a very athletic, speedy, shifty quarterback. So great play right there by Carson.
Carson Odom, the sophomore linebacker, drops Kennedy for a loss of 4 back to the 49-yard line. Now Kennedy over quickly to the right side by the numbers, and again, good speed and quick pursuit by the Trojans to take him down.
Again, another sure tackle out there on the edge. That's Zane Seeger doing a good job fighting through those wide receiver trash. Just those guys out in front trying to secure the edge for the receiver, but Zane does a nice job of fighting through that, securing the tackle.
Third and long for Jordan Kennedy and the home team. Now we've got a timeout. Santa Fe will take a timeout here, and so will we. 8:33 to go in the fourth quarter. Jenks 44, Santa Fe 7. Back with more right after this. You're watching.
Hey Trojans, get the only card that donates to Jenks Public Schools every time you use it. TTCU Federal Credit Union has donated more than $160,000 so far. Support the Trojans with your card today.
Life doesn't wait for you to slow down. When you're moving fast and something doesn't feel right, Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma is here to help you stay in motion. Through our combined expertise in orthopedic surgery, non-surgical medicine, and comprehensive whole patient treatment, our team has your back and every other joint too. Ready to get back out there? Visit AOOK.com and let's move forward together. Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma. Heal, recover, advance.
Thrilled to have you with us tonight here on Trojan TV. The season opener for the 2025 Trojans has them leading Santa Fe 44-7. Wolves coming out of the timeout, facing a 3rd and long from the Jenks 48. Here's Kennedy dancing back in the pocket. It collapses on him, but he's able to get it away. It's caught, and then a tackle immediately made over on the edge, and that will be well shy of a first down. Yeah. Got it down to the 44-yard line, but nothing further.
I think that was actually Jalen Friday coming up, doing a nice job playing off, making the receiver catch it in front of him, and then making sure he brings him down right at the place of the catch. So good play right there.
Santa Fe's already converted 1 4th down on this drive, trying to make it 2 here. 4th and 9. And now Kennedy zips one over the middle. It is incomplete. Had a man on a crossing route and just could not quite make the connection. Well covered by the Trojans, and they will take over.
Yeah, Jenks had a guy underneath there and a guy over the top, and it's kind of hard to thread that needle and hard for a receiver sometimes when you're crossing the middle right there to know that you're in traffic and got bodies around you and secure that. So Trojan defense, some guys that getting a chance to play and make a contribution, come up with the stop, and ball goes to the offense. So we'll see who the quarterback is. We've got a few different linemen in there now. Try to make sure we identify those as best we can. Looks like Landon Webb is still there at center.
And it looks like it's going to be Isaiah Butcher who comes into the game at quarterback for the Trojans, the 6'1", 200-pound sophomore, now lined up in the shotgun.
Does he go by Q maybe?
And he'll keep it himself across the 45 up to the 47-yard line.
So not to be confused with Q Overton, who was a little bit different body type there. We got Q back at QB coming in and taking the next set of snaps. Pretty good pickup on the first carry of his Trojan career.
And another sophomore next to him, that's running back Kyron Scott. And Butcher will hand it to Scott. A little bit of room over the right side. Breaks the tackle across the 50. Tumbles down at the 45. That's going to be good for a first down, brought to you by the 10 District.
So on the right side now, Jamison Mobley is still in there. But we've got Zachary McKenzie in as well. Landon Webb still at center. Try to identify some of the others that are out there. We've got Jake Flowers still in the game. But now on the offensive side of the ball, as an H-back inside receiver there.
Seen the Trojans going fast on the offensive side of the ball pretty much all night. No need for that right now. Just letting that clock roll as Butcher tosses it over the middle. It's complete inside the 30-yard line. Good for another first down, brought to you by the 10 District. A nice delivery, nice pitch and catch there by Butcher as he connects over the middle.
I think we've got Bradley in there, Maddox Bradley in there at left guard, and Bo Bright still in there at left tackle. So
that was Jake Flowers on that last reception.
Definitely shown his athleticism in a variety of ways tonight.
So Q Butcher coming in at the backup quarterback position, trying to march his team down the field. Over to Scott. Running hard down toward the 15-yard line. Knocked down at the 17, but good for a first down. And again, the 10 District getting a lot of shout-outs tonight, especially on this drive, as the Trojans are really piecing together some good chunks of yardage.
Scott's giving me some Jerome Bettis vibes. He's just kind of running angry in there and getting his shot at touches on a Friday night and making the most of it so far. And I know they want to get down here in the red zone and stick it in.
Yeah, you'd love to see these guys who work so hard in the offseason, work so hard in practice and in the weight room, maybe not at the top of the depth chart, but getting their opportunity and, like you said, Coach, making the most of it. Here's Butcher fighting his way down inside the 5 on the quarterback keeper. So no answers right now from this Santa Fe defense as Butcher has come into the game and put his team right on the doorstep. Jenks in position to cash in yet again.
You can see his speed, but also his leg drive as he's spinning down there close to the goal line, trying to get it across there and get his first Trojan touchdown.
First and goal from the 2. Butcher gives it to Scott. Scott plunging forward. Is he in? He is. Touchdown, Trojans.
Great work right there. You got some offensive linemen that haven't been playing tonight, and they continue with the intensity and the drive. You got some new guys in the backfield Then, of course, you have Flowers with a big catch on the drive as well, and now he's back for the hold, which he's done all night. So nice drive right there, nice execution. That's got to be exciting for those guys.
Good runs by Butcher, good runs by Scott. Nice pass completion by Butcher over the middle to Flowers. The Trojans piece it all together. It ends in another touchdown, another good extra point by Owen Mahan, and with 4:54 to go, that Tulsa ER and Hospital touchdown has made it a 51-7 lead for the Trojans. Back with more after this. You're watching Trojan TV.
Our pets are more than just pets. They're our people, our family. And when they get sick, we want them to be cared for like family. At Woodland West, pet care is personal. We care for your animals the same way we care for our own. As the most comprehensive facility in the Tulsa area for everything from diagnostics to treatment, you can trust that our team of compassionate veterinary experts are delivering the care your animal deserves. Your pet is always there for you. Let us be there to keep them in good health. Woodland West Animal Hospital.
Life doesn't wait for you to slow down. When you're moving fast and something doesn't feel right, Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma is here to help you stay in motion. Through our combined expertise in orthopedic surgery, non-surgical medicine, and comprehensive whole patient treatment, our team has your back and every other joint too. Ready to get back out there? Visit AOOK.com and let's move forward together. Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma. Heal, recover, advance.
It hasn't mattered much who's out there for the Trojans tonight. They have had their way on offense. Landon Kazar marching the Trojans up and down the field, and then Isaiah Q. Butcher coming in here in the fourth quarter and leading the Trojans to another touchdown drive, capped off by the 2-yard run of Kyron Scott. So sophomore quarterback, sophomore running back, and that tandem puts the Trojans into the end zone. It's a 51-7 lead as McCord will give us our next ace kickoff. Started the night with a successful onside kick. And here's Malachi Davis fielding it. Got a little bit of room. Somebody got a hand on him there close to the 30, able to push it up to the 37-yard line, and Santa Fe will take over there. Appreciate everybody, wherever you may be, for tuning in tonight on Trojan TV. Can't say enough about the work of this Trojan TV crew, and appreciate everybody out there for sticking with us through a few technical difficulties. It's the first game of the season, but it's an outstanding product, and these guys have worked so hard. These guys and girls have worked so hard to bring you this production tonight, and they've been doing a great job with the replays, and we're so thrilled to be able to bring you these games streaming wherever you may be on YouTube, on Trojan TV, and make sure you check out Trojan TV on YouTube, even when it's not a game, for all the great content that they are producing throughout the week leading up to the game, and all the stories you can watch around Jenks Athletic and Jenks Public Schools exclusively on Trojan TV. First play of the drive here for Santa Fe goes up over the 40-yard line. Somebody lost their helmet there momentarily. Looks like Nashua Charleston.
Does a nice job coming up off the edge and securing the tackle. Loses his helmet, so he'll have to go off a play. But, yeah, you could even be listening in Michigan where the legend Don King is tonight, but he'll be back with us next week as we travel up Highway 169, head to Owasso.
Coming left is the Santa Fe ball carrier. Hunter Sheehing on the carry. Takes it up to the 49-yard line.
Met by Caden Christie there to bring him down, the tackle.
Clock continuing to run here. This one has been a foregone conclusion for a good little while. Trojans led 34-0 at halftime, and Santa Fe had their lone touchdown on their first drive of the third quarter. Since then, Trojans have tacked on 17 more, and it's a 51-7 advantage. A pretty resounding one-sided decision here to start things off in the 2025 season.
Zach Goodman in there on the interior line, helping bring down the ball carrier on that first down play. Getting some other guys in, some playing time. Also on the defensive line right now, we've got Warren Graff.
Second and 5 from the 46. Along the sideline and up to the 40. Make it the 39-yard line. Good for a first down.
Got Austin Klein out there now, another sophomore that they're excited to see develop.
Sophomore Eli Freeze with the catch for Santa Fe. Fresh set of downs for Kennedy as he whips it over to the right side along the hash marks. It is caught. Diving catch made there by Devontae Sarton. Senior wideout for Santa Fe. Picks up 4. Makes it 2nd and 6.
And if you think this game is a foregone conclusion to the head coach and defensive coordinator who is over there giving direction and encouragement and everything he can to make sure these guys finish strong, he is still coaching his tail off.
I'm not sure the intensity changes very much between quarter 1 and quarter 4, regardless of what the scoreline is. Sheeing the ball carrier, takes it up to the 32-yard line, bring up 3rd down.
Caden Brewer, one of the defensive linemen in there to help make the tackle.
And down to our last couple plays of the evening here in what has been a really successful start for the Trojans. Jumped all over the Wolves from the first minute of the game, got out to a 7-0 lead and never looked back. And it's been a boat race from there. Again, good job in pursuit by the Trojans coming up. Making the tackle, and we got a late flag.
That was Zane Seeger coming up to make the play, but I don't know what the call is going to be unless somebody is saying some things that aren't very nice right now. Kind of think you get this last 39 seconds over with.
Stay with us immediately following the conclusion of the game. We're going to wrap things up with a quick post-game show here. We're going to have your Waldo's Chicken Player of the Game. Get Coach Fox's take on what he witnessed tonight, as that is going to give the Wolves a first down. It's an unsportsmanlike conduct call against the Trojans. Not something Coach Gaylor is going to be happy with, I'm sure.
Not at all. Didn't see what happened. It was thrown by this side judge over on this sideline, but I missed what they saw.
Here's Kennedy firing for the end zone. It's incomplete. Double coverage over there. Now a late flag coming in from the side judge with 34.9 to go.
Did I sound forlorn right there? Was there some exasperation in my voice?
You sounded like a guy who wants 34 seconds to run off the clock.
Come on. Okay, I'm going to say this. Clay Martin can get on to me on Monday or Tuesday. Not Monday because it's a holiday, but he called holding, and he called holding after the ball had landed through the end zone. So if it's a holding call, it's a holding call before the ball is in the air. If the ball is in the air, it's a pass interference call.
Don't you know those flags can get stuck sometimes? They get a little, it's a little hard to get out of your belt. It's not always one fluid motion. Doesn't always happen as fast as you want it to.
There were 34 seconds left. It almost took 34 seconds to make the call. I hope Dr. Butterfield's not listening tonight. We'll be in trouble.
Penalty moves the ball inside the 10. Here's Sheen trying to churn for some extra yards. Gets stood up right at the 4-yard line. He'll go no further. 27.9 on the clock, and Santa Fe is going to stop it again, much to the chagrin of Eric Fox.
I will withhold comment. But I promise you, Coach Gaylor does not want these guys to get in the end zone. So
Remember, next week we will be up in Owasso for a battle with the Owasso Rams. Head coach Bill Blankenship back in Owasso. They had their season started already last night and ran into the Bixby Buzzsaw last night, did the Owasso Rams.
Well, I think Bixby might have remembered when Battle of the Burbs turned out differently the year before. Of course, it's a lot different cast and crew. You got a different head coach again at Owasso. Coach Blankenship is back. Coordinators are different. And then some different cast members. There's a student athlete that played for the Rams last year that played for the Spartans last night. So, again, just kind of the nature of the beast at this time. And so, good, solid opener, and we're going to have to play well next week when we roll up to Owasso for sure.
Santa Fe trying to get back in the end zone here at the end. Trojans bound and determined not to let that happen. Again, it's Sheehan pushing closer to the goal line, maybe a gain of a yard there. And the clock is running. One timeout left for Santa Fe, but this may be the final play here as Sheehan is able to break a tackle, got down close to the goal line, going to be marked just short. Not able to break the plane, and I think that is going to do it. Kennedy was maybe hopping around hoping to have one more snap, but he's not going to be able to get it off, and that will do it. In the season opener, the Jenks Trojans have come down the turnpike to Edmond and defeated the Edmond Santa Fe Wolves by a final score of 51-7. The Trojans are victorious, and Coach Fox, we are going to figure out who our Waldo's Chicken player of the game is, and I think it's probably the guy with 5 touchdowns. That guy right there. KD Jones, 208 total yards, got in the end zone 5 times, 3 on the ground, 2 through the air. We expect big things from him always because we've seen big things consistently from him, and here he is, not disappointing yet again, delivering for his team over and over again, and just an incredible offensive performance tonight by the Trojans. Some things you would want to clean up from a penalty perspective, but man, KD Jones is KD Jones doing KD Jones things. We've seen it for years now, and it's not a surprise to us, but it's no less impressive for what he's able to do with the football in his hands, and just what a weapon the guy is.
No, he used his speed, he used his leg drive, he used his shiftiness. He was about as spicy as some of that Waldo's kicking sauce, man. It was some good stuff. KD does a nice job tonight. Took care of the ball. That's another thing you want to make sure that your player does. And so good ball security. Good job of not trying to take a play that wasn't going to go all the way and make a bad play out of it, or try to move around and be so shifty that you lose ground and stuff like that. So good outing, but you also got to say that that offensive line helped make that possible tonight. So shout out to those guys up front. And then, Landon having a good game of throwing the ball and delivering things and putting it around. Of course, Dillard out on the edge. When you have Dillard's production out at wide receiver, that sure makes it easier for KD as well. But congratulations to Caden Jones, our first Waldo's Chicken player of the game.
And as Coach said, the player of the game is sponsored by Waldo's Chicken. Everything is made from scratch, so it's all fresh every day. And Waldo's has locations at 71st and Yale, Broken Arrow, and Owasso. Take a look at a couple of the final numbers here for our player of the game. As you see on the screen there, 208 total yards for Caden Jones, 141 of those on the ground. He ran the ball 24 times for 141 yards and 3 touchdowns on the receiving side of things for KD Jones. Trying to pull that up here.
Well, just while you're looking at that, I think last year he had 3 touchdowns for 207 total yards. So
yeah,
5 touchdowns,
pretty
and 208
consistent
tonight.
Pretty good.
That works.
3 catches tonight for KD for 67 yards and 2 touchdowns. He had the one on the wheel route in the first half, had a 55-yard screen pass touchdown in the second half. Another memorable performance for KD Jones. And while He is our player of the game. We got to give a shout out to Landon Kazar as well, the junior quarterback making his first start as a Jenks Trojan. Went 18 of 25 for 248 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. And, Coach, that's exactly the kind of game you want from a young quarterback who maybe doesn't have much experience coming in. I'm sure nerves, anxiety play a factor, but boy, he looked very composed. He looked very calm. He's got playmakers around him. He was able to get the ball in their hands consistently. He was accurate with his throws. It's exactly the kind of game you want from Landon Kazar moving forward.
Yeah, and you know, he just looked really poised and comfortable back there. Of course, there wasn't a lot of pressure from Santa Fe that was getting to him. You know, the one interception was one that was batted down at the line of scrimmage, or batted up at the line of scrimmage, and they ran under it. So, you know, he looked like he had control of what his responsibilities and his reads, and so that's got to be a confidence booster because we know next week is going to be a different week. So, good start. It looked like everybody's coming out of it healthy. So, you know, coming out of a game, I mean, look at OSU, right? I mean, they open their season and have a quarterback situation. So, I mean, getting everybody out of the game healthy is key to moving forward in the season. So, for those reasons, it looks like a very successful evening for the Trojans as they rolled down the turnpike and took care of business at Edmond tonight.
Yeah, before we wrap things up tonight here on Trojan TV, the Trojans go for 498 total yards compared to just 172 for Edmond Santa Fe. So say what you want about the Trojan offense. They were great tonight. They were efficient. They had some big plays. Katie was his fantastic usual self. That Trojan defense came to play as well and did a good job against some of the skill players on the Santa Fe side. Real quick, Coach, before we sign off for tonight, what's your takeaway from tonight, and what do you need to take into next week against an Owasso team who obviously was a little bit bruised and a little bit wounded in that loss to Bixby? Their egos maybe, and you know they're a good team, they're a skilled team, they're going to be a prideful team, and that's going to be a tough test next week.
And they're a well-coached team, right? So, listen, we said beforehand we've had 3 offensive coordinators in 3 years. So establishing an offensive identity and who we're going to be this season and being comfortable with who we are, being comfortable with our own skin, and being able to execute when there's key moments that have to happen, not making big mistakes that make it harder for you to get the job done. Those are things that we did reasonably well tonight. We will want to clean it up with some of the penalties early, you know, against Owasso defense, especially Taj Overton, highly touted defensive lineman that we're going to face next week. We just don't want to be in those positions. But then on the defensive side of the ball, you know, basically took care of business tonight, but still no turnovers. And I know that's something Coach Gaylor wants, at least 3 turnovers a game. So I'm sure that'll be a key that they talk about this week. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you can't drive up the highway to Owasso, you better be tuned in to Trojan TV and Mason Prince's broadcast, because it's going to be a great night of football next Friday night.
No doubt about it. That will wrap things up for us here from Edmond Santa Fe tonight. Huge thanks to our Trojan TV crew, to Mason Prince, to Garrett, our director, and all of the Trojan TV crew members for bringing this one to you. Your final for the final time, the Jenks Trojans 51, Edmond Santa Fe 7. For Eric Fox, I'm Rob Labor saying thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk to you next week.